Hello, everyone. Good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're ready because we are here for the very first matches of the 4Key Mania World Cup 2023. Starting off with quite a few in a row here, that we're going to have a lot of hype ones here. But first of all, I am Potassium F, commentating alongside today with Ravale. How are you?
Hello, yes, indeed, the both of us are back from the qualifier results showcase, and we'll be your two voices, the first two voices for an ultra-competitive round of 32 weekend. 16 matches across the next 36 hours, all 32 teams not at risk of elimination, but all would hope to start off this year's World Cup on the right track, which include these two Asian powerhouses right here. Hong Kong were able to retain a good core of their 2022 team that got them into the top 24, with the returning Scissors, Quotient, McMewtwo's, and also Degen stage, with new players in Raksak and So On replacing Silky and Holy Stephen from last year. Malaysia unfortunately had to undergo a huge roster shuffle, which saw exits from some key players, only keeping Leon and Seoul, and bringing in three 4-digit Mania World Cup players in J-Lai, Tosa, and Aina, with their last piece being online. This will be Aina's first appearance in 4K Mania World Cup since 2019. This will be Hong Kong and Malaysia's third meeting in 4K, with their last match being in the 2020 round of 16, which saw Malaysia winning 6-4. So Pot, what are your expectations for these two teams?
Well, first of all, this is an absolutely insane, like, if you just showed me these two flags and said this was round of 32, that would be ridiculous, like last year, 2 years ago, anything like that. But like you said, unfortunately, Malaysia team this year they have lacked a couple of their key players. So unfortunately now, Hong Kong being the higher seed. But that said, this Malaysian squad, I would think that the biggest thing that they lack compared to previous years is their late game ability. And you know what? Round of 32, not exactly the late game right now. So I think, although Hong Kong definitely should be favored on paper in this one, Malaysian players have a lot of accuracy, have a lot of consistency and tournament experience to lean on here.
Yeah, and according to qualifier results, Malaysia's only better qualifier stage is stage 1. So something to consider when we are, going into our Protect. So we do have a new Protect system, which will definitely bring in some new strategies, some variety of picks. And I've listed here, Malaysia will probably want to protect SV, which they are going to do so in SV1.
Yeah, just in case anyone's not familiar with other tournaments and all that, Protects just means that both teams gets to pick one map that is protected, which means it can't be banned in the ban phase that we're going to right after. So SV1 is not going to be possible for Hong Kong to ban out, essentially forcing them to ban SV2, you would think.
Yeah, most likely, but Hong Kong have to do their Protect first, which I'm thinking is going to be either Rise or like long note coordination, which is going to be tarot cards, but we'll definitely have to see.
Yeah, it's hard to really tell, especially against Malaysia. Malaysia have fairly well-rounded rosters, but yeah, they're struggling to decide as well, it looks like, at the same time.
Looking at the qualified results, Hong Kong's biggest margin is stage 2 by 41,000 points, which is the early tech Rise. So probably like Rise 3, 4, 5, all definitely protectable.
Yeah, I would definitely say one of the tech maps definitely looks good in that case. If you really want to go with more consistency... Oh, okay, well, Rice 1 was the last one I would have expected. But yeah, no, it's still a good pick. This is actually the speed map, fairly difficult as well. And as I was saying, you know, it is does also require a lot of consistency because it is a little bit longer and more sustained than the tech patterns that we see in the other maps.
Definitely, yeah. It's like 300 BPM single streams. At least it peaks to 300 BPM, so definitely has that speed aspect. I think Hong Kong would definitely love to pick that at least during the entire phase of this match. So no surprise with the ban from that, from the protect from that. But banning LN3, so Sensor is getting banned.
Oh, both SVs being left up? Okay, I like this. Unless Malaysia bans it, that would be weird though.
I don't think Malaysia's
that would be very weird.
SV2.
That means that both SVs being left up on the first match, very interesting. I like it a lot.
Wow.
It's very rare. Okay,
It is
banning
very
Rise
rare.
2. So Little God Channel, I expect Rise 2 is going to be banned quite a few times. It is one of those maps that is very physical in comparison to some of the rest of the pool, and also, you know, very long at the same time. So Rise 1, the Protector's coming out straight away from Malaysia. We're going to see the SV abilities of both of these teams.
How many times has SV been the first pick of a World Cup in Mania?
A lot. It's one of
A
those
lot?
skill sets. Oh, the very first pick of the tournament? Or
Yeah, of the tournament.
of the tournament? First pick of a match, very common. But of the
Yeah.
tournament, depends on which teams are playing, really.
Yeah, because it's so rare for me to at least be commentating a match where SV is the first pick, let alone like first match of the entire tournament. So we are gonna see Resistors, Oxygen Stage, and Magmutus with Leon, Tosai online. So actually J-Lai played Stage 1. But this time we're gonna see a
that's
different
interesting.
different Malaysia composition for the SV.
Now, online, I think, is the only player pretty much in both of these teams that I've never seen in a tournament before. So I have no idea how good online is at SV, but if they're playing now, it should be fine. This map in particular, though, is on the it's kind of on the easy side of not LN, of SV, you would say. It's mostly reading, mostly kind of normalized. Kind of easy to drop 200s here and there, but you're not really going to see many chokes beyond that level.
Yeah, going back to online, they actually played stage 6, 7, and 8 during qualifiers, so them playing an SV map is definitely a little bit out of left field, but we'll see what they can do. And like you've mentioned, this is probably going to be an accuracy battle, if anything. I'm very sure these 6 players have at least practiced a little bit, maybe.
That's
Not
not
good
the
start for
start.
Meg.
For either of the teams, Leon and Meg both getting 200s on the first. That first note is actually really deceptive. You can't just tap to the beat, even though you think you should be able to.
But it is a very slight Malaysia lead, despite Meg and Leon dropping. Leon actually was able to keep still 99.5, actually overtaking online, but Meg still in the 98s.
Yeah, actually, a lot of players here struggling a little bit to maintain the level of accuracy that I would have expected here. But Meg managing to come back above 99%, all 6 players now above 99. And it's looking like, funnily enough, Leon now is approaching the highest accuracy of the lobby.
Yeah, Tosai actually got the best score for the Malaysian team on stage 1, so they are currently holding the highest score of this lobby. But yeah, so far Hong Kong are doing pretty well to try and keep pace, but actually the lead has grown towards Malaysia. It was 4 digits before, now it's 5 digits.
Yeah, Leon and Tosai right now both on track for about 990k, despite like Leon's earlier 200s. Meg Mewtwo having a little bit of a rougher time catching up in the accuracy.
With Scissors actually hitting early on one of the chords, so dropping down to 99.1. And that's just gonna extend the lead to Malaysia.
Yeah, that's the problem with this map here for some of the players, is that just none of the notes individually in this map are very hard. It's just the focus that you need to keep up this kind of rhythm for the entire time. That kind of note right there can catch you off guard.
Yeah.
Just so many things you have to constantly be paying attention, and that's just resulting in too many 200s here for the Hong Kong side, just a little bit more than Malaysia.
I love how out of all the 6 players, Leon's the only one ghost tapping.
I can't deal with watching ghost tapping. It's
oh my god!
See, that's why ghost tap. 50s for Leon there. But does it
miss on Leon actually. Oh, that's gonna change it. Is it?
That's more
is
than
it the
enough.
accuracy from Hong Kong though?
No, it's there. Hong Kong all above 99%. That's definitely enough. Leon dropped a lot of accuracy in that miss. Now down to 99.3. This is going towards Hong Kong. There's just nothing to miss on.
Oh my gosh. Who is laughing now? Hong Kong, right from the noses of Malaysia. The first pick of the Mania World Cup this year is a break point to Hong Kong. And that is so unfortunate for Malaysia.
They stole that away. That was Malaysia's point. Like, guaranteed at that point. I was almost ready to take my eyes off the screen. But that's just so unfortunate as well, because Malaysia, they really need every point they can get here. Hong Kong is not going to give them many chances, and that was one of them.
Now it's now Hong Kong's turn to pick. Good start for them. Hopefully trying to capitalize on this early point to at least double the lead.
Yeah, so now I wonder if Hong Kong could just go straight to that Rice pool. They did protect Rice 1. Maybe if they're feeling, consistent on the speed, that might be a place to go for.
They could go for any of the Rice, honestly. I feel like they have just, like, on paper, they already have an advantage just with the player counts.
There is always the argument, though, that these 3 maps at the bottom of the Rice pool there are very chokeable. Especially, you talk about, like, the maximum the hormone map there, Rice 5. That is, like, 1.5 minute. Oh my god, okay.
I
was going to say, while this does favor Hong Kong, yes, it is also 1.5 minutes and filled with tech, filled with jacks, mini jacks, quad jacks. There is so much miss potential, and one miss is going to matter so much in terms of the score.
Yeah, this map really comes in bursts. There's a lot of very jarring bursts that come in different waves, and really the focus of this map is to make sure that you are hitting those bursts correctly. Because also this map changes BPM quite often, so it's also about trying to adapt to that.
Yeah, now we've got Osu Degen Stage 5 switching in here, who is also known as Murasame. Wait, were they playing already? Were they? Am I going insane?
I actually do not remember.
Perhaps. Anyway.
But we do see Seoul. We do see Seoul from Malaysia.
Yeah. Okay, so swaps anyway. I've completely forgotten now. My brain is melted. I've forgotten who is swapped in, who's swapped out. The names are all just a mess in my head right now.
Actually, I think you're right.
The end of the map just completely wiped my brain, I think, just for a little bit. But anyway,
I think it was with Scissors playing in the SV, so yes, it was a swap in.
Okay, I'm not going crazy. Anyway, we're going into Hong Kong's first pick here. This is going to be TV size, of course, and Rice Tech.
Yeah, so this intro is going to be very tame. There's not really going to be much jarring bursts. Yes, they are very fast, but you'll see once we actually get into the, I guess, breakcore section, like the really jarring sections.
Those are really hard to get good accuracy on as well. Right now, players should be fairly okay. It looks like we've actually got really good accuracy across the board here. Fairly tied between the two teams. But
here we go.
Let's go. Some mini jacks here. No one. Oh, Seoul. Finding a miss on that one. That's a big one as well. That was actually the highest accuracy on Malaysia. Seoul was holding 99.9, I believe, just before that.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a miss from Hong Kong's side now, but they're also stable. Leon is the one to actually miss. That's 2-0 in terms of miss counts, and we're going into a bit of a slow section back into the chorus really soon.
And the chorus is mostly going to be more, straightforward chord jacks here. All players looking like they're fairly okay with this, but 2 misses is the advantage for Hong Kong. Even before those misses, I feel like Hong Kong had the accuracy advantage. For now, they definitely do. And that's just it. There's just a little bit of an outro here, but even if there's miss at this point, it's just way too late in the map. It's going to be Hong Kong picking up their own point.
I need to see that ratio from Quotient. Alright, thank you for that, Quotient.
That's with the 200 as well? Okay.
That's with the 200.
Okay.
And they MVP the lobby. Well, there you go, Hong Kong sticking their second point on the board. Now it's time for Malaysia to give this one a think.
By the way. JLI 995.
Yeah, JLI. Second best score in the lobby. Okay, actually never mind. I totally forgot SV2 was open. So they do not need to think. It is straight away USM.
It's so rare that we have both SV maps up, so fair enough. this is one of the very few matches that you'll ever see that have both SVs up. It's just that incredibly rare. But here it is, the second SV map. This, I mean, after the first map, even though, you know, of course it was Hong Kong that won that one, it was Malaysia having a definite advantage in terms of the accuracy, so you would expect perhaps a similar kind of dynamic in this one. As long as this time the players can FC, I think it does favor Malaysia. Yeah, the one thing that I am just slightly nervous about is, you know, if I look at the two maps, SV1, SV2, this is, you know, the more likely one I would expect someone to miss on.
Yeah, this is, I think for some, or most of them, I think it's gonna be the harder SV of the two.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, I mean, depending on how good you are at slow jam, it really just depends on your slow jam comfort. If you're comfortable with this level of slow jam, then I feel like Ultra Synergy Matrix, honestly, maybe a little bit more consistent. Especially with the song. I feel like the song has much more of a clear kind of beat, and also only being 2 minutes long, that helps a lot. But we'll see. I feel like it's entirely kind of personal preference at this point, nitpicking between the two SV maps.
This is Malaysia's roster that played Stage 1, so they actually have their Stage 1 lineup. But Hong Kong still, they aren't putting Quotient in for the SV.
Yeah, we have Murasama in as well.
Yeah. Malaysia desperately need to win this.
Now the intro of this is going to be very telling. This starts out as slow jam and... oh my god, okay. No 200s?
Oh no, JLI. JLI was the first one to pick up a 200. But it is still early days, the lead is almost non-negotiable at this point.
Yeah, that was a fairly difficult slow jam section compared to the rest of the map as well. So here, this should be fairly simple. These faster parts, I don't expect anyone to really drop any 200s or anything. It's going to really be decided on these slow jam sections that are in between. Like right now. But
oh, that is JLI dropping.
Yeah, not feeling comfortable on that.
Hong Kong. I will say Mrs.'s accuracy is actually quite low. Oh my god!
And that's a curse. That's a big one. Yeah, that's down 98.5. I think that gives the advantage over to Malaysia. Malaysia have the accuracy advantage just ever so slightly. It's just Murasama. Murasama versus Tosai. That is a huge advantage that Hong Kong has managed to get for themselves. And looking at Rizz's accuracy, it's going up pretty fast. Now 98.8. I think Hong Kong just barely have this accuracy advantage, but I think a couple of 200s more than enough. And there's still one longer slow jam section right now. No, a little bit later.
They are desperately trying to hold on to this. And like you mentioned, like Murasama is doing all they can. Their accuracy is actually growing, 99.83. And Malaysia are just kind of stuck.
And here we go, the last slow jam section. If there's any mistakes by either player.
200 from the scissors is traded.
But it's above 99, and it's still... oh, it's so close. Meg Mewtwo, Osu Dijen, and Leon, all three of them on the same accuracy.
If Hong Kong just drop once, it is it. But if they hold, Hong Kong will hold.
And they do just barely 3,400 points.
Oh my gosh.
Meg
and Leon. Wow.
Meg, Leon, also Murasama up there with the best, not even the best, Tosai, hello. Not even the best ratio. Tosai with the best ratio, but just couldn't hold the 200s in check there. But wow, really high scores across the board. And another one of these moments for Malaysia where they just have to think, you know, what if with both of these SV maps, this could have been Malaysia's second point even in another world. But Hong Kong managing to clutch it out just in the end. They're 3-0. They're in a really strong position, and that's the SV maps out of the way.
Yeah, those were Malaysia's two best chances to score points, and now that it's all gone, Hong Kong probably gonna pick another Vice, and then after that, what can Malaysia even try to go for?
What better time to pick Rice 1 than now? That was your protect, that's the one you're most comfortable with. This is where Hong Kong really wants to secure this lead, not let Malaysia back in.
I think they're probably gonna give this one a think, because if they can either save the protect later if they do lose a map. But I think the most logical pick here is Rice 1. Oh, actually,
yeah, I was gonna say, this is actually not that bad either, because if you think about what happened on Maximum the Hormone map, Rice 5, that was Hong Kong winning in both accuracy and combo, with Malaysia finding a few misses, not very comfortable on some of the mini jack patterns in there. But if you're talking about choking, if you're talking about mini jacks, there's another one here. Rice 3, Hopeful Frontier, plenty of choke patterns in this one.
Yeah, we do see Koshin coming in for the scissors. And toe side swapping out for Seoul. So just one swap each.
We're getting another swap for Malaysia. We're going to get Einar.
Oh. Not Leon, okay.
Okay, let's see what these players have on this map. Now this one as well, even though once again, Hong Kong looking stronger with the Rice. Another one where misses can mean everything here. Hong Kong have definitely looked like the ones that are better at keeping hold of the combo so far in the match. But you never quite know.
Yeah, and especially for this kind of map where you're getting like a lot of different kind of tech patterns, like chord jacks, jump jacks, a lot of fast streams. Especially this starting here, and it does seem like all of them managed to hit it pretty well. J-Light does tank a little bit of accuracy, but Hong Kong will take the lead.
Yeah, that accuracy has gone really low at the start, but definitely enough time to recover there. And here we go, Meg Mewtwo is going to be the first miss here, and it is a risk that goes both ways for both teams. Malaysia now in the lead.
Very early miss as well, so this lead not going to be too much.
And also, hang on, look at this accuracy though. Quotient and Murasame have crazy high accuracy, and I think if this map continues on like this, I feel like Hong Kong might just take it back in accuracy alone.
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention that Hong Kong, their best player in qualifiers was Koshin, MVPing 6 out of the 8 qualifier maps, but Meg Mewtwo's dropping again. It's not gonna help Hong Kong. Malaysia now into the 5-digit lead.
Yeah, that's two misses there from the same player. That's going to be 3 full combos still. Halfway point now, Malaysia. Their accuracies have actually been rising since the intro here. Einar and J-Light both hitting that 99.7 mark, which means they are very close to Quotient and Murasame overall.
Yeah, and we're already 75% of the way in. Does seem like a lot of these players, except for Meg, have been very stable throughout this entire map. But the ending can be quite brutal. I know there's like a couple of very interesting jump throws. Might eat up some accuracy, might cause a miss. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all going to come down to this last few seconds here. And they just need to hold on the combo. Malaysia. Everyone hit it.
Oh, but I know!
Not enough time.
Too late. That's a bit too late.
Yep.
Oh, that was a hard attack.
Made you sweat a little bit towards the end there, but thankfully enough for Team Malaysia, that's not going to be another heartbreak. It is going to be a break point though, so they are right back in this now. They get their own pick. There is a lot of potential now for Malaysia to try and stage this comeback.
Yeah, there's also a V1SS for Murasame. But like I was talking about before they picked Rice 3 was that if they wanted to, they could leave their Protect for later on if they do lose a map, which they have. So now with that Rice 1 Protect, I think they're probably gonna pick it after Malaysia's pick.
Yep, for sure. But Malaysia now, I wonder if we're going over to the LN maps.
Oh boy.
That seems
I think so. Definitely not. I don't think they will want to go LN1. Maybe LN2. I think their LN density is pretty okay. Their stage 5 was only behind by 16,000 points, so definitely 8-bit Voyager is an option.
But definitely a lot easier than what we saw in stage 5.
And there we go.
So, LN2 coming through, and I know for sure Malaysia, their team has some very strong LN accuracy players.
I'm just waiting for Leon to come in. Well, Leon's already in, but we are gonna see a Tosai, and is Aina gonna play this? I was thinking maybe J-Lai from Malaysia. And for Hong Kong, I was thinking Raksak, because Raksak did play stage 5, but it does seem like there's not gonna be much changes.
Yeah, Hong Kong's keeping with the same roster. They've been playing very well so far. But this is exactly the team that I expected Malaysia to pick for early game LN maps. All three of these players kind of just stick out in my mind as being LN accuracy specialists in a way. So we'll see. This is going to come down. I think most of the maps so far have come down. Oh, what?
I don't remember Tosai playing Hidden. Is my memory foggy, or is this...
I've seen Tosai play Hidden a bit in OMMT, the Malaysian tournament recently. So
actually, yeah, you are right, yeah.
It's an interesting choice because I think you normally would just put it in your skin. It's just because the combo scaling really messes things up a little bit if you miss, but, you know, hopefully you shouldn't miss. We'll see for these ones though, because misses we've seen are definitely possible with a map pulled this hard. And that might be the deciding factor of another map.
Yeah, and misses on an LN map this dense is gonna be so punishing.
Ooh,
just like that!
Just like that there, Aina finding a miss, 99.4 is the accuracy. Still relatively high, but look at all the other accuracies in the lobby. We have 99.9 on 4 different players right now.
Oh my god! You mentioned that Leon is 99.95!
That is insane.
That is ridiculous!
This is not a ratio map. But this is, regardless of that score, it is going to be Hong Kong in the lead unless they find a miss. It feels like just if they manage to keep combo through the rest of the map, this should be their point, but we've said that before.
There has to be like huge accuracy drops. If they all do keep full combos, there has to be huge accuracy drops.
Yeah, look at Aina's accuracy. It's climbing back up. It's actually not that far away from Murasama's accuracy.
Yeah, so far still pretty stable. And we're already entering the final quarter.
In Malaysia, gonna have to hope for a miss from Hong Kong pretty soon. Because the time is running out here. They're still at this accuracy disadvantage. They're still at the combo disadvantage as well.
Yeah, Malaysia are just doing all they can, but it's really up to Hong Kong, and Hong Kong just doesn't seem to break. You know, unless...
I appreciate you for trying your best here.
I am trying my best because I do want to see this match go on for longer, but it does seem like Hong Kong are going to close this one out. Take a back-to-back break point. Hong Kong now match point of our very first match of the World Cup. And that is 2v1 double S's. Okay.
Such a clean team score from Hong Kong. 1-200 across the entire team. Leon, the MVP, despite the 1-200 getting...
Yeah, 169.
I don't understand people that manage to ratio stuff, but... Yep. That's a thing.
Yeah.
But either way, it is going to be Hong Kong at match point now, 4-1, and it is also their pick. They still have their protect, and I wonder if now is the time that they're going to pick it.
It has to be now. I mean, if they do pick something else and then lose, and then Malaysia pick something else and then lose, they still have one more pick from Hong Kong side, and then they could pick the protect, but like, come on, this has to be the protect now. but also Malaysia are running out of options if they do, if Hong Kong do pick something else and lose. Like, I don't think Malaysia will want to go for tarot cards. I don't know if hybrids are gonna be something that Malaysia could bank on winning.
Yeah, it's just such a unfortunate situation the SVs, the results of those maps have put Malaysia in, because it would be such a close match right now.
Yeah.
Or it could have been, but now it's gonna be Hong Kong. We're gonna have anime.
I love anime.
So true.
I wonder like how many people in chat are younger than this song.
Oh no. Don't say that. Not just in chat, players in the tournament.
Oh no!
But yeah, anyway, this is a much longer map than the ones that we've seen so far. This is 3 minutes long. And also the patterns in this one, much more kind of consistent. There's less individual choke points in this one, which does mean that accuracy is going to matter all that much more. A single miss is not going to mean a massive amount, and you don't expect there to be quite as many misses as there are in, you know, something like the Chainsaw Man map that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, there's 3 anime maps in the Rise Pool.
Huh. I
the
guess
Lucky Star one as well.
I guess
I mean,
maybe 2.5. If you do see a change,
DJ Sharpnell's anime. That counts. Anyway. Yeah, we're seeing, are we seeing any switch up? We're getting Soul in here.
Yep. And the scissors for
yes.
Meg, I think.
Yeah, I think that was Meg in there before, so let's see. This is the potential last pick. This is Hong Kong's Protect, so we have to imagine they're comfortable on this one. Always kind of scared whenever a team protects the speed, because that's just one of those specialist maps, specialist skill sets, you would say.
Alright, it's now or never for Malaysia. For Hong Kong, they just need to win this and they're through to the round of 16 upper bracket. A little bit of a shaky start from Aina, but this map still has a lot to offer.
Shaky start compared to the rest of the players. I don't know. What is this from Hong Kong?
In what universe would 99.7 be a shaky start?
I'm thinking like shaky start. What am I doing then when I'm playing?
What am I doing too?
But 99.9 is the lowest score on Hong Kong right now. That is crazy. It is very early on, but at the same time, this map is a lot more consistently paced than some of the other ones we're seeing, so the accuracy probably going to drop off a little bit, but not by a gigantic amount, you would have to imagine here. And now we're into the mainstreams. Hong Kong with a little bit of an advantage. Malaysia all above 99.8, so not that far behind.
Malaysia are definitely doing really well to keep up for a team that I expected to not do too well on the Rise, especially for the nature of this map. Like, the gaps between Hong Kong and Malaysia in the Rise qualifier stages are so big. So for them to still keep within like 2,000 points of a difference is really impressive.
Yeah, and right now it actually looks like the score, like you look at some of these accuracies, we have Murasama and Risus, Aina and Soul all on very similar accuracies. Difference right now is, wait a second, that's a big miss.
That is out of nowhere.
Right in the middle of the stream. That almost looked like a keyboard drop, if anything. 99.67 it drops down to. Now this is definitely in Malaysia's favor. This was a very small lead originally, but now...
Yeah. I was saying, like, Malaysia were doing so well to keep up, and now they're being rewarded. Are we actually gonna see, like, 2 Protect maps being, like, breakpoint? I can't believe that.
That would be crazy. I mean, it is a long map. We still have another 1/3 of the map left. Looking at the accuracies right now, it looks fairly close. Actually, I think just Hong Kong have an accuracy advantage still. Because you look at Leon and
Yes.
Murasama right now, even with the miss, Murasama's keeping up with Leon's accuracy, very similar there. But it's Quotient that's making all the difference. Quotient is just 0.1% above the entire Malaysian team.
Gosh, that lead wants to go to Hong Kong so badly, but can Malaysia spoil the party? I think there were a couple of accuracy drops on Malaysia though. It's 1,000 points of difference.
Oh, it's so
It
close.
was 3,000 just now.
It's going down really quickly.
My gosh.
With the length of the map, look at it's 3 digits.
Oh my gosh.
There's enough time for it to be go.
The accuracy from Malaysia just couldn't keep up with Hong Kong, and Quotient is actually gonna bring them over the line. With the miss from Degen stage, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, all the
Hong
accuracy.
Kong's gonna take it with the miss, and it's 5-1 Hong Kong. They'll take it. Oh my gosh.
My god, that's a 997k from Quotient, and they needed that as well to be able to make up the difference. 2 score V1 double S's, and Aina with the 50 and 100s at the very end. That's what caused the entire shift, and it's going to be 5-1 for Hong Kong. That is insane though from Malaysia. I like in another universe right now. This is 2-4 in favor of Malaysia.
That really didn't feel like a 5-1. Like that 5-1 is the most deceiving thing.
Malaysia
actually did so well to keep up.
Scary performance. So Hong Kong manages to win it much closer than they would have probably liked, and they're going to move on into the round of 16 winners side of the bracket. Whereas Malaysia are going to still be in the tournament despite losing. They're just being knocked down to the losers bracket, where they'll get another chance at continuing to go further in the tournament.
But yeah, that is just one out of the 16 matches. So we do have 15 more matches yet to be played. As you can see, the upcoming matches schedule, the next match is going to be something that we're going to have a lot of fun later on, Pod.
Oh yes, of course. So, stick around. Don't go anywhere too much, because look at this list of matches. We've got a lot of them. Some of them are very spicy, especially the next one. I am a big fan of this next matchup. Singapore versus Australia is going to be on the stream in about 23 minutes. That is going to be a very exciting one. Just as exciting as this one, I would say. So make sure you stick around for that one. In the meantime, I think we're going to have a little bit of a break. So do whatever you want in the meantime. Go drink some water. Make sure you stay hydrated. And I guess we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you all in about 20 minutes for the next match. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mania 4K World Cup 2023. We are here for our second match. It is Singapore against Australia, and hence, therefore, we have a Singaporean and an Australian in the commentary booth right now. I am Raviel, and I am joined by Pot. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Very excited for this one. Zero bias in this commentary booth. Of course, I'm very biased. But anyway, Singapore versus Australia. This is actually going to be completely no bias this time. Going to be completely a very close match. Like actually, I think this could actually be a really, really close match. Singapore is the higher seed, so they are favored, of course. But I would say not even because of the seeding here. If you actually look at some of the qualifier results, Australia's seed got pulled down really heavily by stages 6, 7, and 8. So the last 3 stages they performed fairly poorly on. So if you actually remove those ones, Australia actually had the higher seeding result than Singapore, which is very interesting because stage 6, 7, and 8 are completely irrelevant for the level of map pool we're seeing in round of 32. So that's my
So
fun
they're
fact
already
today.
going into protects already, by the way. So Singapore protecting Hawatari, which is Vice 5, and Australia protecting LN1 tarot cards.
Okay. Interesting to note here. I think even though I just said that with Australia performing well on the earlier qualifier maps, Singapore still have the advantage in the name of Aishteru, I think the name is now, also known as X-Ven, which is an absolutely insane player in terms of accuracy, especially. Australia banning Little God Channel. This is very expected from me, at least, because I was just talking with the team 5 minutes ago. And we'll see. Singapore is banning SV1, so Singapore not looking like they want to go with SV. No,
I don't know. Wait, is it SV or is it Vice 2? Oh no, wait, never mind. I'm talking about
Vice 2 is Australia.
Okay, sorry, this SV1. Yeah, my bad. I got a little bit confused when they put out 2 different maps, but yeah, it is gonna be SV1 ban. I'll quickly go through the teams, by the way. Singapore do retain 2 players from last year. Sukidayo and Aishteru. They are bringing in Neon Hooray, McButt, and Oyama Mahiro from 4-Digit Mania World Cup, and Adam Ackerville back from the 2020 edition of 4K Mania. Australia only keep 1 player, which is Ruka, so they swap out 5 players. They bring back HD Adrenaline from 2021, Anim Girl from 2019, and 3 new players in Emptiness, Iron, and Oct 4. This will be Singapore and Australia's first ever encounter in 4K World Cup history.
And yeah, I'm just going to say, from my perspective at least, knowing some of the scores, obviously without trying to reveal too much from the Australian side, I think this was an interesting match in that I feel like there are almost no safe picks for either team. There was one safe pick that I thought existed, which was Little God Channel, but that is banned out of the way. I think every other map in the pool is in question here. I'm not really sure how it's going to go. We are going to see Singapore picking... we are going to see this Chainsaw Man map being picked first. We saw how this went in the first match. It can go very badly.
Yeah, if you do miss, you'll get punished really hard because of the length of the map and also the nature of these bursts.
Yeah. Now... Yeah, we are going to see Aishteru. Okay, that is
so
waiting.
This is actually this is the lineup that played stage 8 actually. But I was actually expecting Sukidayo to play this, but Sukidayo did play stage 2. But this is the lineup for Singapore that played stage 8. Australia will be having HD Adrenaline. HD Adrenaline actually didn't play any of the qualifier maps. We're also gonna see Anim go.
And we should be seeing Emptiness coming in as well for Australia. Now, the one thing that I will say, Singapore has one more advantage over Australia in this match, just overall, and that's just the sheer amount of tournament experience they have. Like you said before, Australia is switching out most of their team. Most of the team from the Australian side has almost no tournament experience. So I think nerves are going to be very high on their side, while Singapore having, a few veterans from MWC being joined by the 40 MWC team that came second earlier this year in that tournament. So plenty of experience on their side. We'll see how this works out. This is a very risky first pick, I would say. But definitely one that could come down to individual misses. We'll have to see though, because Aishteru's accuracy might be enough to give Singapore just a straight advantage out of the gate.
It might just be Singapore's second and third player, whether or not they are able to beat Australia's second and third player. Or if it's just Aishteru gonna pull Singapore over the line regardless.
Oh, and a few 200s coming out from Adrenaline just right at the very start, the first few patterns there. Neon Hooray also dropping in accuracy just a little bit, down to 99.6. But we've seen that this map is going to come down to those mini jack sections that we're going to get a little bit later.
Yep, and it's about to start right now.
And here we go, and actually, hang on, this is Australia taking the lead. Neon Hooray dropping an accuracy below.
Oh, but Adrenaline!
Adrenaline finding a miss, dropping actually down to 99.4. Actually, that's tying with Neon Hooray's accuracy, really struggling in the act department. So this is actually within one miss of difference. The accuracy lead is not really in favor of Singapore at all.
It really is just Aishiteru trying to pull Singapore over because Oyama and Neon Hooray are like relatively maybe matching Australia but slightly below, and it's just Aishiteru's accuracy 99.9.
Oh, and that's a miss
on my hip.
Hang on a second, I think the accuracy now it's not quite in favor of Australia actually.
I don't know.
I feel like Aishiteru might be doing enough, but it's really close.
Oh my gosh, wait, there's really not a lot of notes left in the map too, but that lead is shrinking. Wait,
this might come down to 200s at the very end.
Yeah, it's not enough,
Yeah, that's gonna be Singapore just barely managing to hold on to their lead. Definitely a risky one there, but 47.
Wow.
From Aishiteru, Emptiness as well, getting the score V1 double S.
Yeah, really good plays from both of them, but business as usual for Aishiteru. Australia picking L in 3. So we are going to see Censored for the first time in this match, in this World Cup, yeah.
That was a close one for the start. Okay, LN, this is what I would say is, for the tournament, Australia's biggest strength coming into this. They have a very strong LN team, of course, being led by Ruka.
Who has to come in, like, soon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, we are absolutely seeing Ruka in for every LN pick, there's no question about that. But also here, we are seeing Oct4, another new name that we're seeing for the Australian team coming in as well, for the LN picks. And we're also seeing a switch out from Singapore. Neon Hooray has left. I expect maybe Sukidayo to come in?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Sukidayo, Aishiteru, and Oyama Mahiro.
Or Adam Akaville even, potentially. We did see Adam
there was a glimpse of Adam, yeah.
I know actually, a little bit of lore, Adam Akaville, very strong in the LN accuracy department, actually did beat Luca in the LN tournament. I can't pronounce the letters. LN tournament earlier this year. Adam Akaville did actually beat Luca in the LN tournament at the start of the year. So definitely a strong player there, but it looks like as long as we switch the players a little bit.
Yeah. We aren't going to see Sukidayo. It's going to be McBud actually for Singapore.
Yeah, okay, bringing in another one of these kind of newer MWC players for Singapore.
But has 4DM experience.
Yeah, of course. At this level of difficulty. We need the
players to switch, actually. Come on.
Yeah, we do need the players to switch.
They were sending out like good luck have funds already, and there's 2 players in their own slots.
Yeah, here come the commands. Ref coming in clutch, having to manually move these players around.
Thank you, Yaze.
The 4DM team from Singapore versus the 7K team from Australia here.
That is so true. Alright, we should be able to get ourselves on the way now.
Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. This one is a really tricky pick, actually. There's quite a bit of coordination involved and a lot of difficulty in trying to get good accuracy on this one. It's very hard to act. Oyama Mahiro playing the wrong map. Actually, the wrong map showing on the bottom.
Yeah. Just gotta get a refresh. But Ruka actually playing Mirror. That is interesting.
Yeah, maybe just a couple of patterns in the middle that could be just slightly more comfortable with the mirror mod there. Always happens sometimes here, and let's get off here. We have everyone starting off decently well, nothing major happening at the very intro, but Singapore off to a tiny bit of a lead here.
It is very tiny. And it's really just because of Oct4's accuracy. Actually, Animgirl's accuracy as well from the start.
Yeah, Animgirl dropping in accuracy quite a decent amount, 99.67. And Singapore are having a really good time with this so far. Aishiteru, 99.9, still managing to get the ratio on this one as well.
accuracies are tanking a little bit because of the releases, but it is still a decent lead for Singapore.
Yeah, Aishtar and McButt definitely ahead of the rest of the players. Everyone else, all the other 4 players are holding on fairly consistently at the same type of accuracy, but we also have all 6 full combos at the same time.
It seems like the accuracy is growing though for Singapore's side because of the drops from Ock4 and Animgo. And actually Ruka now matching the other 2 Australians.
Yeah, this accuracy lead is just kind of growing as time goes on. It's going to have to be a miss towards the end of the map if they want to be able to retake the point. But the map is fairly short, we're already at the very end.
Now there has to be a drop from Singapore for any chance of Australia to take this. But it doesn't seem like that will be the case, and that will be a breakpoint to Singapore.
Yeah, early breakpoint here. 6 full combos. Actually, this might be the first time we've seen a 6 full combo score.
Wait, okay, I was about to say, did the lowest score of the lobby just get a V1SS? No, it was the second lowest.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, that's a V... Oyama Mahiro, V1SS, but the ratio a little bit questionable.
A win is still a win regardless. But yeah, next pick Singapore.
Yeah, 2-0 up, so in a very good position right now, and I wonder what Singapore actually go for. They've won a Rice and an LN, but it almost feels like the LN was more comfortable.
Yeah, but I feel like they would still probably stick with Rice. Like, if they're gonna go buy like a strategy or a plan, it's probably still gonna be Rice, but who knows, if they want to deviate from that strategy, pick LNs, I think it's honestly fine. Just maybe not tarot cards.
Yeah, interesting to see what they decide to go for here. 3 Rice maps still up. And yeah, okay.
They are going for the
anime map. This one, I think, is a fairly good pick overall if you want to kind of flex the accuracy difference just as much as possible, but we did see it was not actually that straightforward on the first Rice map we saw.
We should be seeing emptiness for this too again.
Yeah.
We're waiting to see if Sukidayo comes up for Singapore. Or is it, well, it's gonna be Neon Hooray again.
Yeah, Neon Hooray coming in, and I feel like this one, a good pick for Singapore for sure. It really just depends here. I think Aishtar does give a lot of advantage here. Trying not to give away scores too much, but...
I mean, it's gonna be expected that Aishtar was gonna crush this, but
yeah,
what about other 2 players?
Absolutely. Other 2 players are the real question. I think Neon Hooray, they're gonna really have to pick up the accuracy just a little bit from that first map that we saw earlier. We are going to see Ruka staying in for this one for a Rice pick for the first time here.
Not so much of a surprise. I mean, Ruka did play some of the Rice qualifiers, actually.
Yeah, Ruka was good for the, the old stage 2.
Yeah.
So this is still very much in the comfort zone for all of the players, you would say, but let's see, because the accuracy is what's going to matter the most here. Misses are going to matter, of course, but not quite as impactful as a single miss would be on the first map that we saw. No, actually, that's not a good start.
As you were saying.
Early miss in the first 50 or so notes of the map. Now, it's a long map, there's enough time to recover, but it's going to be hard. Because now, if you do want to recover from this, it's going to either have to be a clean miss from Singapore or a big accuracy lead, and I don't think that Australia should be getting that big of an accuracy lead, given that Aishtar right now is on 99.94. But hang on a second, Emptiness.
Ooh.
Emptiness is gaming right now.
That's a trick miss from Neon Hooray though. That's actually going to go back to Australia.
Oh, big, actually. Australia's accuracy is not that far behind. Luca is a little bit further behind from Neon Hooray, but it's catching up very quickly. And Emptiness actually is holding off Aishiteru. Atom Girl is ahead of Oyama Mahiro. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
This is not looking so cut and dry for Singapore.
I can't believe that I'm saying this right after Ruka and this, but Australia have the accuracy advantage actually.
Yeah, they actually do. That's crazy to think about as well. But it's a long map. It's halfway through. And we can see how small this lead is tiny.
Oh no, it might swap at the same. It's probably gonna be the same exact thing as what happened with Hong Kong and Malaysia, where the lead just looked like it was, you know, shortening slowly, and now it's back to Singapore.
Yeah, we can't. Australia can't be affording getting 200s, and I think Atom Girl's accuracy has dropped just a little bit below the 99.8% mark. And yeah, now it's looking like Neon Hooray's accuracy is rising just that little bit faster than Ruka's as well. That's giving Singapore the advantage again. Back into the streams.
This would be a statement win if Australia can pull it off. Singapore still with their highest accuracy in the lobby, Aishiteru. That's not going to be like the biggest question here. The biggest question is whether or not the other two players can keep up.
And Neon Hooray has made a really big recovery as well in the second half of the map. That's really what's put Singapore back in the lead. 99.67 is really strong with the miss as well. And now this is now a 6,000 point lead.
There's one more section left, which is going to be this one.
Everyone's holding on fairly strong. More accuracy drops coming in over time from Australia, but Singapore is just hold consistent. And Atom Girl misses at the end. That
has to be the deal. The final, the nail in the coffin. Alright, let's see what this ratio is for Aishiteru though. 115.
But this is a really strong showing, regardless, from Emptiness in particular on Australia.
Yeah.
Managing to hold 995k actually did negate most of the advantage that Aishiteru got for Team Singapore. It was just in the second and third players, Oyama Mahiro just being uncontested by the other two Australian players.
Right, this is back to Australia, and Australia definitely need to win this next one. Which, you know, tarot cards is still available. They did protect it.
Yeah, I do think there's another pick for Australia. I don't know if I want to say it out loud on stream.
Apart from tarot cards?
Pick Water Lily. Yes,
oh,
yes,
Water Lily.
Yes! Okay, Ruka
we are not biased, by the way. We're not
biased. Okay, not biased. It's just like the first time that Ruka and I have been on like the same page for picks.
Congratulations. Okay, to be fair,
happened last year as well.
Like, if we look at stage 3, Singapore was 12th, Australia was 13th. The point gap between the two countries is 1,500 points.
Yeah, very
So there's
close.
nothing in it.
The early game ability overall as a team from both teams here is actually very close together. I really do feel like it's, you know, the Aishiteru difference that is making up most of it here.
No surprises to see all 6 players here actually played stage 3. So we are going to see a qualifier replica roster of both these teams.
Yeah, fairly similar map in terms of style as well. So we'll have to see. This is a must-win, as you said before, for Australia, but at the same time, it is only one breakpoint they're behind. So, you know, not too much copium from me, but it's still possible to come back in it. They just have to win all of their picks from now on. A breakpoint, again, is not affordable.
I think Australia, like for Australia, this could be their biggest chance apart from tarot cards.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, I know the scores from Australia. That's why I wanted to. That's why I thought this was a good pick.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. It looks like there's gonna be another swap out.
Oh,
yeah, Adrenaline coming in here as well.
No Atom Girl. Okay. I mean, you know more about Australia than me. So.
I know. I was actually gonna be surprised that Adam Girl was staying in for this one, but let's see. We have another switch in here. HD Adrenaline, as you said, Adrenaline didn't actually play much of the qualifiers at all.
Didn't play at all.
Yeah, actually, almost didn't play at all. Did play in the second round of stage 3.
Oh, okay.
But this is the round of 30 round of 32 pool. Oh my god, how do I speak?
32, yeah.
The round of 32 pool is definitely more in the comfort zone for HD Adrenaline. And he is a very consistent player overall as far as tournaments go for the most part. So let's see, this is Australia's second pick, a must-win now, and a fairly short map as well, 2 minutes long. Looking like so far fairly back and forth between the two teams right now. Adam Akadil finding a miss. It's actually just at the worst time as well, right after the 400 combo mark. That means, despite it
clean,
it feels like an early miss, but at the same time, that miss gets the full brunt of the score reduction that we would be seeing.
Indeed, but the lead's only 3,000 points. Like, Adrenaline's accuracy dangerously close to Adam's, despite the miss.
Yeah, and I'm looking right now, Aishter and Oyama Mahiro once again with this terrifying... the terrifying ratio, and Adrenaline finding a miss there halfway through the map. That's going to give a big lead over to Singapore, but another miss coming from Adam Akadil. Hang on a second.
So clean again.
It's another clean miss, actually. Adam with the higher... it might be a
high accuracy, yeah, but there's 2 misses though. Until Adam hits that 400 combo, but Australia's accuracy, like, Adrenaline dropped a bit. And it is going to stay at Singapore's side.
Australia needs more accuracy if they want to come back in this. It is Singapore with the advantage. Aishter and Oyama Mahiro still with the best in the lobby. It's flickering a little bit now.
Adam's dropped below Adrenaline. Oh wait, but that's changing. Oh my gosh. It's between Adam and Adrenaline right now.
Oh, it is so close between all of these players, but it looks like the accuracy drops from Australia just maybe a little bit too much. 3,000 points the lead as we're getting into the very end of the map now.
Yeah, it's just Oyama and Aishter pulling Singapore over. Ruka Oxford dropping to 99.7. Ruka actually dropping below 99.7. That could be it. If there's no more misses from Singapore, which I don't think we will see, and there'll be a miss from Adrenaline, that's gonna seal it. Singapore take it by almost 10,000
There was an opportunity there, but now this feels like it's almost over. Singapore 4-0. They get their own pick, and it's going to have to be a reverse sweep from Australia. I am not sure how possible that's going to be.
Yeah, like Oyama and Aishter were just... They are going to be pretty important for Singapore's run in this World Cup, that's for sure. But never say never. Australia still have chances to try and come back, but it's gonna take some miracle. There are still 2 rice maps.
2 rice maps left. 2 dangerous rice maps left, I would say. As
well.
Neither of these are very comfortable. Especially choke-wise, very chokeable maps in Hopeful Frontier and Poppy. I don't think Singapore have any real incentive to go for the LNs.
Definitely not, I think. Like, definitely not the density, because Australia have a better stage 5. And I don't know if they want to go for tarot cards. Well, USM is also open, SV2.
I don't expect Singapore to pick it, SV. Like, if you're 4-0 up, if you're on match point 4-0 up, there's no way you pick an SV map.
Oh wow, they actually picked the one map we didn't talk about.
Okay. Yeah, Cybernetics is coming out here. Interesting pick. Singapore did have a very strong accuracy advantage that we just saw. But at the same time, the misses kind of make you wonder a little bit. This one, of course, a very different map than Hybrid 1. But the first time we're seeing this here. But a very short one as well. TV size, you would say.
Yeah, and there will be a single swap each from both these teams. McButt coming in for Singapore, Animal coming in for Australia. So as opposed to the Water Lily, which is the easier of the two, this one actually gets quite heavy on L lanes in the second half. This will definitely be a more punishing map if you do miss because of the length, but also with the difficulty of this map compared to Water Lily. But this is it. Singapore's at match point. Australia need to win all the way to still be in this round of 32 winners bracket.
It's going to have to be 4 in a row to force a tiebreaker. And we'll have to see it happen right now if Australia have any chance of making a comeback. But the accuracy is still the name of the game for Singapore. They are in that accuracy lead right away as well in this one. Girl having a little bit of early difficulty getting the accuracy up. Opt4 also dropping a little bit below 99.7. While all three of Singapore's players right now, 99.9. But Girl finds a miss early on, but that is after the 400 combo mark. And that feels... Oh, actually, but...
That's a huge one, 99.5.
But Girl's at 99.0 right now, so
yeah.
I think Australia needs one more miss as well, and that's a lot to ask for. Singapore haven't been missing too much so far in the match.
Yeah, and Girl really needs to try and pull up the accuracy. Right now, 99.05. Still kind of staying stagnant a little bit. And that lead's just going to continue to go for Singapore because McButt's actually recovering some accuracy.
Yeah, McButt all the way recovered up to 99.7, and yeah, Girl, the accuracy is just not coming out right now. 99.0. And Aishter is still actually drops to 200 there, but was on 99.9 just before. And another miss coming in from Girl. That is going to... That's it. There is no coming back from this one now, especially in such a short map. We're at the end already. And unfortunately for Australia, it is going to be the sweep for Singapore.
It was a valiant effort, that's for sure. Australia were definitely experimenting with some of their picks against Singapore, but Singapore just really have the players that they needed to be clutched for all of 5 of the maps. Especially Oyama, my hero. I think that's definitely going to be an unsung hero for Singapore.
Yeah, definitely holding as like the second best player for Singapore on so many of those maps.
But yeah, that will be it. First sweep of the World Cup, Singapore will take it 5-0 and advance to the round of 16. Upper bracket, Australia still in it. They are just in the lower bracket and they'll have to... I don't know if we can bring up the bracket or not, but they will now be at risk of elimination next weekend.
Okay, so congratulations to Singapore, yep. I believe this is going to be... So Singapore versus the winner of Japan versus Colombia, and Australia versus the loser. I think that's the way the bracket is set up right now. So interesting matches coming up next weekend as well.
Oh my gosh, a Singapore-Japan clash. I've seen that before.
Okay, but don't go anywhere just yet. I believe we have more matches coming up in the same block.
We have like matches all the way for like another 4 hours.
Oh yeah,
we have a lot.
Look at this lineup. That is a lot of matches, all the way up until USA Ukraine. There it looks like. Yeah, that looks like a whole one big block of matches. So it's just going to be continuous until then. The next one coming up in about half an hour, Thailand versus the Netherlands at 11 UTC. So make sure you stick around for that one. Until then, we will see you next time.
Yeah, and also do say hello to our next 2 commentators because me and Pod will be swapping over. So when they do, open up Thailand and Netherlands, do give them a hi. But yeah, that will be it from us. See you all in half an hour.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the Oceania 4K World Cup 2023 Round of 32. and we'll be having the third match of this, which is going to be Thailand versus the Netherlands. I'm Siloas Kaels, and joining me is going to be Patoraj. Hello there, how are you doing today?
Hi. I'm doing just fine for the first match that I'm going to be commentating for this MWC. It's not actually the first time I'm commentating MWC since I technically did the live showcase at COE. That was fun. But Thailand versus Netherlands, that's going to be, in my opinion, very interesting. More than meets the eye, definitely, because, well, Thailand, they are seed number 9 and Netherlands seed number 24. Kind of a change compared to last year, but I think that the Netherlands, they have continuously, over the years, have made themselves known as an early game team. So I'm expecting something here.
Well, I do agree with that. Something to consider for the Netherlands, of course, is the round of 32 this year has been considerably harder compared to last year. And I feel like Thailand can use that to their advantage, at least in my opinion. Though you do have a point in the Netherlands' strongest rounds being in the early game, so I definitely have to agree. It's just the physicality factor is a little bit concerning for me.
Yes, definitely. And the map pools this year have ramped up considerably compared to 2022. I think this round of 32 map pool is almost comparable to last year's round of 16. So while it's still in early game territory, so Netherlands still has a chance, they might have trouble against a physical team like Thailand.
Yeah, definitely something concerning. I would agree. Thailand's physicality is among the best in my opinion. Like, they do have a very strong stay day. I do hope the Netherlands do not get worried about it too much, because again, I think we've established the fact that this is definitely their best chance to perform very well on, especially on the more physical oriented picks.
Okay, seems that logistics are getting figured out in regards to Toxic Scent. So while we wait, we can take a look at this map pool. That's gonna be the first ban going towards long note number 3, the wildcard option in the map pool. So there remains to be seen. Wait, it's Netherlands banning long notes actually. That is pretty uncharacteristic of their team.
If the Netherlands is banning Ellen, I think that's a... Wait, what? Thailand? Wait, Thailand is banning Rice, and the Netherlands is banning LN. What is going on? This is like the exact opposite of what I expected from both countries. I was expecting Thailand to ban one of the LNs and the Netherlands banning one of the Rice. I guess it's the complete opposite for this time.
Yeah, that is quite interesting to me. Well, you would have told me that in 2022, I would have laughed at your face, but seeing the lineups right now in early game, maybe that is justified.
I mean, regardless, even if it was justified, you'd ideally want to lean more towards the picks that are less physical, right? So I think that was just, in my opinion, a very unorthodox ban for something like the Netherlands.
Well, I do think that Rice number 2 is most likely a pick where Thailand could choke and Netherlands could possibly nail it, so it may be a factor of anxiety in some way.
Could be, but moving on from that, we'll be having Hawatari Niyakusenki, a very interesting pick from Thailand, though I do think it's the right move to make, especially considering that we do know the Netherlands' history on physical maps like this. But they do have a new player here in Quinny Y. Meanwhile, on Thailand, we've seen all these 3 players in previous tournaments. I'm just not sure exactly how to gauge Quinny Y's skill set, though I do think this could be a game changer if they do very well.
Yeah, I think in regards to Thailand, this lineup we've seen over the years already, and this is a pretty strong lineup, and it's no surprise that this is Thailand's first pick. And seeing that Thailand is going into Rice first, their Rice ban might be out of consistency. Like, maybe they are indeed afraid of Netherlands' consistency.
Interesting that you'd point out consistency here. Thailand, in my opinion, should be as consistent, if not more consistent, than the Netherlands. Though, I think this map certainly is going to decide who is the more consistent team. Right off the bat, though, we can already tell who's going to be the accuracy players for each side: Konkawe, AOM, and then for the other, it's going to be Shoira, Toxic Sun. The third player is going to be a big difference here.
Yeah, going into Hawatari Nyoku Sensei, this technical map is very much oriented towards mini jacks, as you can see here, and I do believe that their Netherlands do kind of falter into having good accuracy on the mini jacks, and as we can see here, Thailand definitely starting with a great, oh my god, great advantage here. Look at those accuracies.
I mean, unfortunately, Shoira is going to be dropping a little bit. Thailand's accuracy right now has been otherworldly. Like, I honestly think this is top 1 or top 2 pace around there. Even with these mini jacks, no one seems to have any problems with it whatsoever. Just breezing through it. In fact, I think Konkawe increased their accuracy just from that part alone.
Yeah, this is a very short pick. This is literally TV size, so not much chance to choke at all. So maybe that's why Thailand wanted to get this pick out of the way. Easy FC, easy triple double S.
Triple double S from Thailand indeed. I like AOM DCO barely beating out Konkawe, but looking on the other side, Netherlands securing a triple FC on Hawatari is also very impressive. I feel like this would beat out a lot of teams on the consistency side alone. Not to mention, this is Quinny Y's debut in MWC. A very good introduction, if you ask me. Just an amazing performance from everyone. The fact that we saw 6-way FC on a map like this, very, very impressive.
Yeah, that is setting the mood into the match, and I believe that the other technical picks, Hopeful Frontier and Poppy, might be Thailand's next choices. I don't know if they're going right. If they're gonna go into speed, Hashimete Chimasho 1.1 quite yet, but I do believe that Thailand is gonna focus their sights on the Rice category right here, and now we're gonna see the Netherlands strategy right here for their pick.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Netherlands would want to tip their toes onto the SV picks, though I feel like it's a little bit too early for that. Maybe they can go for something like, I don't know, 8-bit Voyager? I am expecting someone like Parponger to play on something like that. Okay, never mind, they're going for SV1 indeed. SV1 is the new Gene's SV. I guess you could go ahead and like describe what this SV is like, Pataraj?
Okay, so I think the Netherlands are gonna go into SV to start out their strategy, and keep in mind that none of the SVs were actually banned. And let us remind you that protects are now a thing in MWC, and we completely missed those protects, by the way. Anyways, for this first SV, OMG is gonna be a slower paced SV compared to Ultra Synergy Matrix, which is gonna be faster and more of a reading based, flow based SV. So we'll see how those two teams respectively trained on those maps.
I mean, I'm expecting both teams to have practiced this. Like, Netherlands is known for their SV, though the absence of someone like Knight Narumi on something like this is a little bit like, it's a new feeling in a way. Cause like, usually Netherlands has players like that. Meanwhile, on Thailand, we'll be seeing Monplug coming in. How to Be Intel has been in the mania scene for a long time, and I think they have the experience to back it up. I believe this is their second MWC as well. I think their first appearance was like back in 2018 when they were still Sharp-kun. Though, as you said though, I feel like both teams definitely practice this.
Yeah, I do feel that Thailand's SV ability is their main weakness, really. So it's only logical of the Netherlands to try and aim for that weak point first, that at Shield's heel.
Well, we'll really have to see if it's a weak point or not. I think, I think at least, Thailand having a roster as new as this is kind of difficult to really gauge. Unlike if you're a team that is very experienced, which is like the Netherlands really, because like I do know Ready Perfectly and Samuel are decent SE players on their own regard. Meanwhile, on Thailand, we have a debutant here as well. Monplot doing a very decent job, though I feel like the Netherlands could get this accuracy back if they are very careful. It's really just a difference between Ready Perfectly and Monplot in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a battle from the bottom here. And yeah, Ready Perfectly's accuracy is definitely recoverable, but Monplat already going back into the 99s.
The good thing though is that Samuel and Shura are definitely beating out Camp How to Be Intel and Konkawe, though Monplug's difference between them and Ready Perfectly is increasing as they do see another 200. But wait a minute! Monplug dropping some 200s on those slow jams. So if there are more parts like this, then I can definitely see Thailand potentially losing something here. But the Netherlands is totally not out of it yet. There are still so many opportunities here. It is slowly increasing on the side of Thailand though. I was expecting these slow jams to really benefit the Netherlands, but it doesn't seem to be affecting the score lead really, as we do have an 11,000 point lead. In fact, I think it's about to increase. Both teams perfectly hit that.
Oh my god. Yeah, How to Be Intel and Konkabe really nailing that accuracy on this early game SV. And yeah, I did expect slightly better performance from the Netherlands, but keep in mind that Netherlands have actually lost their combo of Shoira first, and also lost Saimitsu and Night Norumi as their main SV players. They got rid of their SV lineup in favor of some more physical elements.
Yeah, I mean, that is a much better strategy though, in the long term at least, like having a more balanced lineup overall, though it's clearly not working on a pick like this. Monplot was not able to get the higher accuracy, maybe like as they wanted to get, but here's the good news, it's still higher than Ready Perfectly, and I'm expecting it to be higher than Shoira's as well. So luckily Monplot was able to carry their own weight, which is a very good sign for things to come for Thailand. It's just not the direction that the Netherlands was hoping to make, unfortunately. These teleports are going to secure a 5-way FC, just an unfortunate drop from Shoira really, who I think was holding the highest act for a long while in the Netherlands.
Yeah, this 200 count is definitely putting the Netherlands in quite a situation here. The first break point of the match, 2-0 for Thailand. I do think the next SV pick is still on the table because it's different enough that there's not quite enough information that we got from this SV results here.
It's gotta say though, very good ratios all around. Ready Perfectly was a little bit behind towards the rest of the players, which I do think was a big difference on its own right. Although, luckily, this is only one breakpoint. And we did see how Atari and the potential for the Netherlands to actually take a rise point off of them. So I feel like the Thailand should avoid the rise and maybe try the waters on long notes. Something like 8-bit Voyager I think should benefit Thailand if the Netherlands is going to be avoiding Censored.
I do think that keeping on the rise is still kind of a safe option, but right now they are gonna go into the hybrid category of hybrid number 2. And this one's gonna be... I would say this is the more physical hybrid, as opposed to hybrid number 1, Water Lily, which is more coordination based.
Yeah, coordination, I'm not exactly sure if the Netherlands coordination is very strong on more physical oriented stuff. I am expecting, yeah, Toxic Sense, Shoira, those two definitely are capable of something like this. But we've already seen what Konkawa and Pavin can do, and wait a minute, we're seeing another sub out for the Netherlands. Are we going to be seeing Q? Okay, no, we're seeing Quinny Y instead. Had a very decent showing a while ago, so I'm not surprised if they're putting in Quinny Y again for something like this.
Yeah, I think this type of pick, the Netherlands lineup is pretty much going to be the same. Shoira, Quinny Y, and Toxic Sense. They, I think they have set their sights on who they wanted to put on the main line pick.
Though then again, hybrids can certainly work well for Thailand, but at least in my opinion, the thing about hybrids is like, these are not the most physical maps in the pool usually. They just have some of the most complex patterns, at least from what I've observed recently. So I feel like if the Netherlands is very adept to complex like variations of patterns and whatnot, then they can certainly make a statement with a pick like this. But you have to put in all the effort and be very careful.
Alright, we see Quinny Y with the mirror, possibly to solve us some problems on some of the patterns, or maybe to get rid of some mind blocks that due to intense training.
Yes, some patterns could be difficult for not only your left hand. So like if your left hand is kind of suffering, you could move it to the other side with your right, luckily. Though it does seem like Quinny Y getting some trouble on the rolls here. Though luckily it's not too bad. But what is this? What is this like balance of scores? Literally everyone in Thailand is at 99.9 right now.
Yeah, look at the solid unit of a team here. And let us remind you that MWC is indeed a team effort. You need to have 3 players who can play a pick, who can get a good score to go against the other team.
They have to be very careful because, like, as I say very careful, Shorta unfortunately finds a drop. One mistake from a player could be very fatal, but this is why the 2 teammates are very important. To be able to hold the fort when someone eventually makes a mistake. Because mistakes do happen, and in a map like this, it's definitely very easy to do that.
Yes, indeed. In the round of 32, a lot of the upsets, a lot of the points might get decided on one single miss, or maybe even in a smaller scale, some accuracy drops. But here we see Toxic Sense dropping combo, not putting the Netherlands into an advantage situation here, and we're gonna go into 3-0 for Thailand. Again, the pick to the Netherlands. Are they gonna pick the second SV? Are they gonna explore the LN category? We'll just have to see.
I feel like the Netherlands would probably want to go for SV2 if they think that's their best chance to like get their points, at least in my opinion. Then certainly they have to go for SV2 because this is a very dire situation. You do not want to be down 3-0, and I think that the Netherlands would ideally want to first get off this big hole first and maybe try to find a pick that suits them, which is why I think SV2 is the pick to go.
Yeah, right now they're backs against the wall here with incredible scores from the Thailand lineup. And honestly, if any team encounter this type of scores, they would be afraid. They would be in their right to be afraid right now. So definitely, the other SV is definitely on the table as something they could try. Maybe LN number 1 as the least physical one?
I don't know, but I think if the Netherlands were to pick LN, I'm just a little bit concerned because it's clear in their hybrid that there were some discrepancies when it comes to long notes. And if that's a sign that's happening in this match, and I don't think they should go that route. At least not right now. But wait a minute, they're picking Hybrid 1. I don't know about this pick. I don't know about this.
That is intriguing from the Netherlands. But if I am to trust the Netherlands' ability on coordination itself, it might just be a shout. Maybe they're aiming for a Thailand choke, but we haven't seen any major chokes from the Netherlands from Thailand so far. So definitely looking for something here.
They probably are looking for something here. Maybe an opportunity for Cube to play? Never mind. Looks like Samuel is coming in for Toxic Scent. I'm a little bit surprised with this change because I was thinking maybe Toxic Scent could continuously play this, but instead we'll be seeing Samuel Clampers, which is not a bad decision, I'd say, actually, even though it's surprising. Though the Netherlands have to be really careful because, again, Thailand's in a big role right now. The fact that I think this is the seed 8 team, right? This is seeded 8, right? Thailand, I mean. The fact that this is what seed 8 can do, oh man, just what more can the other teams? Like, they're just performing at an otherworldly rate right now.
I think they're seed 9. But that's besides the point. It's close enough anyways to get the point across. And let's go into the pick. And let's see how those accuracies go.
And as you say that, I'm a little bit concerned on Samuel Klumper's side. Not exactly the best start, still a good one, though if you were to compare it to the Thailand side, the problem with like having a low AC at the start, especially for hybrids, is that the variations of patterns that you're going to be seeing, like you see some mini jacks, some LMs and bursts and rolls and whatnot, you'll be seeing a lot of those later on. So this is just a taste of what's about to come later on, which is why having a bad start on hybrids like this is not exactly the most ideal thing to happen.
Yeah, keep in mind, looking at the Netherlands run right now, this run is like really good. I think this might be one of their best maps yet, but they need much more than that to go against Thailand right now. Look at those accuracies. I mean, they are almost all 3 players at 99.90. That is actually incredible.
It is very concerning to me that right now it's literally not changing. These 3 players are still at 99.9. Shora unfortunately finding the drop. That's the most unfortunate thing I've been seeing this whole match. Shora has been consistently holding the highest AC in the Netherlands, just couldn't keep it together on the consistency. Couldn't blame him though. Again, mistakes do happen, and especially in a beat map like this, where you're forced to be very stable, it's just really easy to make mistakes.
I think round of 32 and early game as a whole has also been designed in a way that chokes can happen very easily. Those maps are not easy at all.
I agree. And right now, these mini jacks, these sort of small streams, not affecting any side right now whatsoever. Still a very impressive showing from the Netherlands. Just an unfortunate drop, and I don't think even if like Shorta FC, I don't think it would have been enough. And that's actually a 0 miss from the entire lobby. Very impressive showing. And Thailand only drops 2 200s for their entire team. What in the world is this accuracy from Thailand?
Yeah, I do think that the Netherlands ended up with probably the worst match that they could have, because Thailand's early game is just something else. I'm really looking forward to see what they can do in round 16, because, well, no one's getting eliminated in round 32 yet. They either go into winner's bracket or loser's bracket. This is double elimination.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Just because you lose this match, it doesn't mean that your opportunity to still showcase your skills is down. As Pataraj said, there will always still be a loser's bracket. Though now, Thailand won an SV pick, won 2 hybrids, and won 1 rice. So I feel like if there was a pick to make here for Thailand, they probably would want to go for something like Hajimete. I don't know if speed is something that the Netherlands would want to play. However, if not Hajimete, maybe something like Poppy, or even one of the LNs really.
Honestly, I would like to see an LN just based on the fact that we haven't seen any LNs in this match so far.
I mean, as much as I want to see an LN, of course, the teams would want to pick whatever they think is to their advantage. So, of course, being in the mere fact that they're up 4-0, I'm expecting Thailand to pick very calmly, not in a very panicked way, because this is a very good position for them to be in. I think they gotta go for something like either Poppy or 8-bit Voyager. Oh, as I said, 8-bit Voyager indeed is going to be the pick to make. Well, here's our Ellen, Ataraj.
Yeah, let's go. We've seen all categories. Let's go. So 8-bit Voyager, a map by Tooth Daddy. This is the more physically oriented type of long nose, and this one is probably the easiest long node to get good accuracy on. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see between the two teams.
I mean, I would actually think that this is one of the more density-oriented long node maps. So I feel like this could benefit Thailand because density usually requires some sort of physicality, and physicality I don't think is something that the Netherlands specializes on the most. Though having Shoira in certainly helps a little bit. It's just I don't know. I just don't really know what's Thailand's ceiling on long nodes, at least early game. But it's looking really good so far.
Yeah, the thing about Randa 32 density is that, sure, it's density, it's probably the most physically oriented type of long nodes there is, but it's still Randa 32, so a lot of teams should still be comfortable on this type of pick. So I would like to see how the Netherlands actually perform on this pick in particular.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see as well. Interesting that Ready Perfectly is subbed in for Queenie Y and something like this. I mean, I think it's the right decision to make. Though it just makes me wonder how the team composition would really fare against each other. We have yet to see a break from Thailand, I think. Like the entire match. I don't think anyone has broken a miss yet.
Yeah, no, the sheer consistency and sheer performance of Thailand so far has been incredibly impressive so far. And yeah, as I said, I'm really looking forward to see what Thailand can do on round 16, because if they perform this well in round 32, how much can they scale?
And if there's anything, I'm actually surprised AOMDCO is playing this pick. AOMDCO is known more as a Rise player, but they seem to be doing really well on an LN pick. Right now, though, the star of the show definitely Konkawe. But let's give attention to the Netherlands for being very consistent as well. Literally 3 players above 99.6. That's not something you'd usually see on a team that's at the seat of the Netherlands. Just goes to show how much teams have really evolved to perform really well in tournaments right now.
Oh no, Ready Perfectly with the first combo break. Ready Perfectly already suffered from some early releases earlier, which did set the Netherlands in quite a bit of a pickle here, this pick. But the Netherlands' performance on this map is actually really good. Look at Shoira and Toxic Sand still intact right now at 99.75 and 73. But it's still on the pace for a 990k plus.
Still a very good performance from everyone so far. Konkawa is still at the 99.92 range. The density pick, like the challenge in this density pick at least, is how are you able to coordinate your hands to hit sort of jump streamy like patterns, like you have some long and short elements mixed together, which is honestly something that isn't going to be too hard for a country like Thailand, but the Netherlands has been performing really solid this whole match. It's really just some misses here and there, but unfortunately that's going to be it. Congratulations to Thailand for winning this pick. And this whole match actually. Konkawe, oh my goodness. What is that score from Konkawe and Pavan?
Yeah, 2 V1 double S's on this pick. It's definitely not an easy one, as you can see. All of the Netherlands catching some 200s here and there. This is not a free pick, by the way, but Thailand just makes it look so easy.
I agree. Just what an epic performance from Thailand, really. Good job from both teams though. The Netherlands, as you said, is not exactly out yet. They're still the losers bracket, so I really hope that they don't feel too discouraged. But now, Thailand is going to take its victory. Congratulations to them. And honestly, Netherlands, with their performance right now, if they keep this up, I think they can make some noise in the losers bracket, which I really am looking forward to see. So good luck to both teams at their next matches. And I just gotta say, what an impressive showing. Just really overall amazing showing for both teams.
Yeah, this entire weekend, all of the teams are performing at their best in this round of 32 right from the get-go. So props to all the teams, and good luck to the rest of the teams who are going to be performing next.
But for the meantime, let's check the schedule. It's going to be China versus Poland. Really, really excited to see that. But for now, that's it. And we can't wait for you to watch the next matches. Please stay tuned. And that's all.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Mania 4K World Cup 2023, fourth match of the day. This is gonna be China versus Poland, and China seed number 10, Poland seed number 23. This is gonna be kind of a tall order for Poland, but it's not outside of the question since we're only in round 32 early game. I am back, I'm Pachiraj, and I'll be welcoming Mifa into the commentary booth. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic, actually. It's been a while since the commentating in, well, not last year, but like it's 7 Key World Cup 2023. But now time has passed. It's now 4 Key World Cup this time, and we'll be excited to see how this plays out for China and versus Poland here. It's a tough hill to climb for Poland at this be facing against the higher bracket, higher seed, I would say.
Yeah, 4 keys is definitely less than 7 keys. And, well, with the more reduced play field comes a lot more density. And this is going to be a way different dynamic than 7K for sure. So I hope you get used to the high pace this is going to be like, because look at those map pools. They've gotten so hard.
They actually gone like a lot harder than like last year. Not that much harder, but it's very noticeable to see if this how it would scale against more later round pulls. So this is already looking really scary for this difficulty this point onwards, and I would say I think China and Poland were gonna have to gut it out basically.
And China with the lucky 13. They were very afraid to roll, as we can see in the chat, and for a good reason, I would say.
Well, I mean, Poland wins like 22, and China will have to protect second, and will be banning first. And Poland, given the scores I've seen from like the qualifiers, I would say there's probably like probably more rice in terms of their protect pick.
Yeah, I think according to the qualifiers results, I do think that Poland is definitely going to be focusing their eyes and sights on the rice department. They might have gotten worse results than China in the qualifiers, but remember, this is round 32, the maps are easier, so there's something to be said about getting accuracy rather than physicality.
Yeah, it seems Poland's gonna be protecting the Chainsaw Man anime opening, seems like. I would say that China expected protected pick is an OMG or SV1.
Yeah, they definitely want to protect the SV to not to not waste their training. I do believe that if you protect an SV, it means that you put maybe even the slightest more training into that SV in particular.
I mean, immediately, if you see a protected SV pick, you're gonna be absolutely sure that you're gonna be winning 2 picks, just without question, unless they're gonna be doing the 300 IQ bait. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see protects in MWC because this is definitely the first time we've seen protects happen on Osu Live this year. So for those who are just joining us, protects work that way. People start the protects before the bans, and the maps that are protected cannot be banned by either team. So it is a way to basically shield the maps that you want from being banned.
Yeah. However, that is it's a strategy to make sure that you have to get a grasp on, because I feel like protected pick is gonna help you in some way, not completely, because you've seen in like the first match between I believe it was where 2 protected picks were actually breakpoints. So that's not out of the question to see an upset right there.
We see something very unusual from what we've been saying about Poland. Poland starting with the LN density pick, and I expected Poland to start and end with Rice, so quite a surprise to see LN density being put on the table here. So let's see how they do on this one.
Yeah, we're seeing almost the full roster for both teams, really. Hacia, Sunny, and Turks for China. I would say a bit of a surprise for almost everyone I guess in the chat, or even like people are just watching, because Turks is mainly a 7-key main for a player, and Turks does have knowledge for 4-key, but mainly people see him as a more 7-key player. But I guess will be Mafufu for playing for the LNs, just to make sure they have the highest consistency for this pick.
Yeah, for people who have been paying attention to the rest of the mania scene, Mafufu has been carrying, and by carrying I mean hard carrying, basically putting the world on their shoulders for the 4-digit Mania World Cup, basically winning the entire tournament for their team. Incredible player, really. So really looking forward to see what they have to provide for actual MWC.
All right, here we go with the first pick from Poland. It's gonna be 8-bit Voyager, and being an LN density pick doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be hard. At least it's maintaining a composure throughout the entire density of the LNs. They should be doing fine.
Alright, there's a little bit of a false start from Palek here, but it is definitely recoverable.
Literally neck and neck at the intro. It's no surprises, although the Phallic has been suffering a little bit of inaccuracy. So does Vegeta.
Oh no, Phallic, the first combo break of the match and the pick. Baketka definitely a little bit behind in terms of accuracy compared to the rest of the Chinese team, and look at the unit that is the Chinese team. Sunny dropping a little bit of accuracy, going from 99.87 to 99.80.
The lowest accuracy from China is the highest from Poland right now, so that's not gonna be bode well for them.
Yeah, especially if the combo deficit.
It doesn't really stop there, because the 18,000 point difference does seem like a lot. Phallic doesn't seem to be recovering much in terms of that miss before, and is now dropping again.
Yeah, no, the gap just keeps increasing, and it's pretty unfortunate. We can just take a look and pay attention to the consistency from the Chinese team.
Yeah, very good start for taking like a potential breakpoint, given how the lead is actually growing further towards China.
But still, Polymarid with a very good run so far. 99.75, definitely rivaling the Chinese team as a whole.
Yeah, putting up a good fight for Poland here, but unfortunately, I feel like this is probably unwinnable given the rest of the map is pretty much over. There's not that much more density left in this chart.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a good try from the Polish team. If they were able to sustain that kind of pick, it probably would have been. They probably would have had a chance if China provided some accuracy drops or some chokes, some combo breaks. But look at those two V1SSs. That is an incredible team performance from China right here.
Yeah, Poland definitely showing the fight there, and almost beating their lowest score from China with 990 against 990 1.8. So like a 1,000-point difference. If it was like a 1v1 situation, I would feel like this is probably gonna be a lot closer than I thought, and it's gonna be OMG for the protected pick from China being picked straight away.
So I do think that China protected this SB for good reason, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the scores. I say that as an SV puller as well.
Well, I'm kind of being thrown in the loop for SBs as well, so I feel like China has a really high seed for SB. for the most part, they've been kind of beating out almost every teams outside of the top 5 for SBs, and seeing the scores for SBs kind of like this, it's not terribly difficult on how aggravatingly slow this chart is, but as a sharpshooter, this would be interesting.
So we see an interesting lineup choice here. We see Ender Nubek on the Polish side. I believe that Cinematic Gem played the qualifiers on SV, so this is pretty interesting to see. As well, Nickname is going to be playing the SV for China rather than Sunny.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Sunny. I feel like for whoever actually played for China, I believe they're putting enough of a practice to make sure they can actually consistently getting either a V1SS or probably 202 with exceptionally high ratio. Background is deceivingly deceptive for how this is a K-pop. Oh wow,
That was a very nice 200.
Very bad start for Poland with actually first 2-note miss for Rajetka, but everything else is going downhill from there.
Oh no. The miss on the slowdown, that is a pretty bad sign for Poland.
Yeah, there's already 70k point lead for just 150,000 points all the way through. This doesn't seem winnable.
Well, let's just enjoy the performance from China. Looking pretty stable right now.
Yeah, everyone on China is actually pretty actively holding up around average of 99.8. Being the lowest 99.7 is already really tall order to defeat that.
Yeah, I think any SV team going against China is going to be a little bit reluctant to go for those picks themselves. And I do believe that any team, even teams that are good at SVs, against China is probably going to stall the pick until maybe mid-game.
Slow jumps break on people.
Yeah, definitely not going to be a first pick from the opposing team.
I wonder if Poland actually nailed the LN, that one trap LN on the third column or something, because that would be like disastrous to hit it properly without any kind of ghost tab or just using your metronome.
Yeah, because SV is also a lot about rhythm stability. and just feeling the
Oh,
music.
wow.
Really. How interesting.
100. I think it seems like the Chinese players are all having V1SS on V1SS pace, I would say. Not necessarily V1SS, but it's on their pace.
Beautiful ghost stats. I like to
Yeah.
see the ghost stats from all the teams.
Yeah, these parties actually this setup are very tricky because how the bum isn't really correlating to like the usual first half.
But yeah, China does have an SV unit right now. 99.79, 84, and 77. That is very, very stable good team performance.
I think only one V1SS for China, it seems. Or two, actually.
two.
Wow. Oh, wow, this is barely scraping the double digits.
Yeah, it's pretty low density, so there's not a lot of nodes. So, yeah, you really gotta have a good ratio to aim for the sky here in terms of scores.
I really like the optimism for having this pick to be picked on straight away after winning your breakpoint, because that's the kind of strategy you want most of the time. You protect it and you pick it straight away.
Yeah, in any case, Poland is gonna be up on the table for picks again. And seeing as 8-bit Voyager didn't work well for them, I do wonder what kind of strategy they're gonna be going for right now.
It's hard to tell, really, because LN doesn't really work. There's only one SV and it's already being banned or picked. So the only thing left is a hybrid, and mostly a Rice.
I do think that Poland might have a chance on the rise if China...
Oh wow,
kind of-
okay. Going there for the protect. Okay.
Okay. I think that might be a good moment to dish out the protect.
They're protecting the anime OPs.
Yeah, it's definitely an anime opening, and it's even TV size. That's the only TV size pick of the map for 1 minute and 29 seconds. The shortest pick by far.
I mean, basically, yeah, there's only one TV size length for this chart. It does feel... It's pretty straightforward for what it is. Not necessarily being stream-based or jack-based. Not necessarily being like the hopeful frontier-based miscellaneous rice pick. It's got everything that doesn't really feel overlapped too much against with the other rice picks.
Yeah, I feel like for round 32, Kawatari Neo percentage is putting the emphasis on jack accuracy, because some of those mini jacks, especially at 195 BPM and above, actually, because there are BPM changes in this map, it's definitely challenging to nail, even in round 32.
Yeah, I wonder if this would be like the kind of like the score that you would almost normally see in like a core jack charts in general, where you just get insanely high ratio, even though this is not a core jack or something for the gliding patterns or whatnot, really.
Yeah, speaking of court jacks, that they are not in round 32, but court jack picks will be back for round 16 compared to quarterfinals from last year.
Ooh, that's an insider information that people mostly want to see about that.
I mean, I think this is pretty much public information. I think this has been communicated somehow.
Yeah, because I feel like I wondered that like core jack picks in like round of 16 would have been like around the same levels like you would see in the quarterfinals last year, where it was still pretty high BP, pretty high, not that high really on BP in terms of BPM. which is like around 140 or something like that. I wonder if this is gonna be happening on like round of 16, except this would be scaled pretty generously.
Yeah, the thing about this random 32 map pool is that it's equivalent to last year's round 16, more or less. Maybe a tiny bit easier, but still, it kind of shows how much we got into scaling difficulty over the years.
So far, the lead doesn't seem to shift too much, although this is just only the intro of it.
Ooh, kind of a nasty accuracy drop from Ender in the back.
The jump to hand is kind of the one thing that you really want to watch out for that.
Yeah, keep in mind that in a 1 minute and 29 second pick, any accuracy drop can matter. And so noting the accuracy drop from Endenubek in the intro might just seal the pick somehow if China just keeps the consistency.
Any mistake is fatal, although we're still just over halfway through. And still, the lead is still kind of small for what it is.
Yeah, we see Polymarade going under 99.7 in terms of accuracy, but China is still not invulnerable in terms of accuracy. They are under 99.8, which we haven't seen in this matchup.
Just last stretch to go. Oh wow, less than 10k for China winning on that pick.
And yeah, that was actually challengeable for Poland. If China actually choked this pick, this would definitely have gone in Poland's side. So good job for Poland for basically looking out for a China choke. That's essentially the right strategy to go for as an underdog.
Yeah, just by looking at this score, Klobuk is beating the two Chinese players there, and the only highest being 994.1. However, it's 3-0 now, and really, it's really hard to tell because China has a significant amount of advantage, really.
So if they have the right advantage, if they have the long minute advantage, well, SB is gone, so we're not talking about SB anymore, but there only remains Hybrid to be seen, but Hybrid is a mix of rice and long notes, so you would expect the advantage to go towards China as well, but China is going to go towards the mint long note, the miscellaneous long note pick.
Censored it is, and from what I've been told, this is just like the mini werewolf house in 2021 pick. So kind of the same valence like that, except this is probably within Turks territory to play. So I'm guessing Turks will be playing in for China.
As the players prepare. So keep in mind that 3-0 means that, well, this is going to be China's pick, so China knows what to pick to go against Poland. And the next pick is going to be Poland, so thinking about the next Polish pick is going to be a little bit difficult because if Rice doesn't work for them, if Longnose doesn't work for them, and if they're afraid of picking Hybrid, then what can they go for, really?
Basically anything that doesn't really involve their weakness at all, which I have no idea what they're gonna go with.
I think they might still have a chance in straightforward Rice picks. Maybe Hajime Teshima the speed pick.
Yeah, I'm legitimately interested to see how Turks will do for this kind of easier pick in terms of like when we see you in the qualifiers. As an outsider that doesn't play 7K all that much, this is very interesting to see.
Yeah, 7K players tend to be really good long note players because there's a lot of coordination involved in playing 7K.
I mean, so far his Turks have been leading in accuracy, though. That's something.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting that Turks is pretty much leading in terms of accuracy because 7K gameplay doesn't tend to be accuracy oriented as a whole, but yeah, some accuracy drops in Turks, but Balek is definitely falling behind in terms of accuracy. Below 99%.
Yeah. Still not dropping the combo just yet. I mean, as far as I can tell, like getting any full combos on this is actually very impressive.
Yeah, we can just see how consistent China is on this round of 32 map. Just no misses at all, no vulnerabilities to be seen. A literal wall that we see right now, unsurmountable.
Yeah, all 99.7. Oh, Calcium!
I cursed him, yes, let's
Nice.
go! My first MWC curse, let's go!
He's getting really proud of himself right now, but again, that kind of drop right there doesn't really damage at all. Like, just look at how accuracy it goes, 99.67. And even though with Poland missing with the foul like here, it's really doesn't really gonna change much in the outcome. That's a very strong game here for China right now. 400 300s for all across the board. And
Yeah.
really single-digit 200s, really.
Yeah, really nice ratios, really nice 200 counts. What else can I say, really? That is China, ladies and gentlemen. That is China.
Yeah, better be watch out for their next opponent if they're gonna be facing China. We're gonna have to face what's left of this pool, I guess. And they're going for Water Lily, and now they'll be venturing into the hybrids for Poland.
Yeah, I think that is very logical. That is a pretty logical pick because the hybrid pool has basically been left untouched, and the Water Lily, I think, is the least physical of the two hybrids, so might have a chance here.
I think this is probably like the one of the hybrids that I feel like plays kind of rigid. At least not in terms of cybernetic, where cybernetic feels like more higher pace and doesn't feel as rigid as before. And this one is probably a test like the most hybrid pick, if you get what I mean.
It's the most hybrid of the hybrids. For a hybrid, it is very hybrid.
Exactly, yeah. Well, it doesn't feel like it's like you would play as a Rice, but it doesn't play like you would normally see on an Ellen pick.
Yeah, I would say this has strong LN elements, but this also has technical elements. So it's a little bit of a mix-up, and definitely gives some teams some very needed weapons and tools to go against their opponents, especially as underdogs.
Yeah, it's their last chance to making sure they get a point here from China, because if Poland loses this, China will clean sweep on this match.
Keep in mind that no teams are getting eliminated in round 32, so Poland, if they lose this pick, they're going to continue in the losers bracket. And their matchups will be probably more favorable, and I would say that Poland, as physically oriented as they are, might have a chance in round 16 in their losers bracket match.
Does have a fighting chance for Poland here, because the accuracy doesn't seem to be that far off.
Yeah, let's see how this all unravels. First quarter, and China is still looking high, solid unit, 99.85 average.
Yeah, well, China is gaming, so that's all I can say really. 99.8 across the board.
Yeah, they literally found the technology to clone their players and essentially have them play exactly the same almost. But unfortunately, Mafufu is gonna curse myself just a tiny bit going into 99.80. Looking at Poland, however, their performance is actually really good. Bagietka and Polymarid both at the 99.80 mark as well.
Any miss could actually swing this from China, but I feel like it's gonna take more than a miss to making sure that you get the gap being closed, or if at all, really.
Yeah, this is this is actually kind of nerve-wracking because if you see one miss coming from China, this is definitely gonna spell a potential point for Poland to grab.
Yeah, coming to the near end of the chart right now, I feel like this is the difference is actually getting a little bit bigger than before because China has the accuracy lead. But seriously, the score from China is absolutely insane.
And as the map ends, we can just see how good it is. And that's gonna be 1v1SS from Kaisium. And
Oh, wow.
And from Polymarid as well. Let's go. Oh my god.
Those are insane scores. Those are still 6 full combos on the board. There are 6 Fs, like all FCs in the lobby. Still very impressive. But although, as being said, China will get the clean sweep against Poland 5-0, and China will be advancing forward to the upper bracket at around 16, and Poland will have one more chance to redeem themselves in the losers bracket.
Yeah, good luck to all of the teams involved. That last pick was actually pretty competitive, all things considered. And I do look forward to see how Poland can fare in the losers bracket in round 16 because I think their lineup is pretty conducive to scale towards the likes of the round 16 map pool. And of course, China going in the winners bracket still. Let's see how China scales this year.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see when the round of 16 map pool shows up. But although that's going to have to wait for until like probably for tomorrow at the very least for that kind of showcase. But it seems like we're still going to have another new exciting match coming up in the next half an hour. Actually, let me check on the schedule.
Yeah, I actually think we are coming to the point where we are gonna split. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and we are gonna split into 2 streams. One stream with Spain versus Russia, and the other stream with Indonesia versus Taiwan. And I do think we actually have the lineups to provide both matches to you, so you can watch one or the other or both at the same time. Just overload yourself with our commentary and all of 12 playgrounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Feast your eyes with the gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. And although I should mention that I will probably have to remind everyone in the chat right now because for the match that we will be showing on in this particular stream, it will be Indonesia versus Taiwan. I would say this will be the stream A, or the A stream, and Spain versus Russia is going to be in the other channel, which is the B stream. So if you want to watch the one or the other matches, you can just go and tune it over there, really. So they just have a equal chance of making sure they're gonna be spectating on all these 4 teams, really.
Yep. So you heard it in the chat. Usulive_2. That is gonna be the alternate stream. So both streams are gonna be live 27 minutes from now on. Just keep in touch, and we'll see you when it's time.
yeah, we're gonna be taking a quick break from there, so we'll be back soon. Hey, welcome back everyone once again to Mania 4K World Cup 2023 action right here, and we got two matches coming right up for you right now, and it's gonna be the one you will be watching on this stream in particular is gonna be Indonesia versus Taiwan. And it's me, Mifa, and I'll be commentating alongside Sileska Elze. How are you doing?
Hello everyone! I am doing pretty well, and I can't wait to see how this match pans out, especially with like how we see some new players here. Indonesia does have, I believe, ASCII Fanboy is new to the MWC scene, and with Taiwan, we're going to be having actually a lot of new players there as well. But how about you, Mifa? How are you doing so far?
Doing relatively fine. At the very least, when I'm commentating for like the past, the only match that I commentated was before that one, and it was absolutely thrilled to see how these players will pan out in like the one of the harder pools. I guess this pool in particular in this year has been like going up in difficulty, and this is no joke at all. Round of 32 feels like round of 16 last year, so that's how it happens for when players are getting so good at the game.
I definitely agree, especially on the long note side. Like, when I played the maps, I was like, these maps are just literally as hard as last year's round of 16, so I definitely have the same sentiments as you. But for now, here's something that I'm interested in. Like, what is Indonesia gonna ban? What is Taiwan gonna ban? What are they both gonna protect though first? Actually unsure. Because the thing about the lower seeded teams, I don't know if you'll agree, but they tend to be the ones who are less balanced in general. Something like Rice is gonna be their best skill set, but their other skill sets unfortunately don't make up for it. And that's kind of the opposite for the higher ended teams, really.
Yeah, and it looks like Indonesia's gonna have their advantage to get to protect whatever they want first right now, as they win the role against Taiwan with like a 25-point difference in that role. And also, I would just need to remind you in the chat, if you guys want to see the other matches coming it's gonna be Spain versus Russia. Go check out with the other channel as well. It's also Live 2, which is also happening right now. So if you want to go watch over there, you know that you're gonna be cheering that one side of the match right now.
And if you're interested to see both matches, why not open both of them at the same time? You know, there's nothing wrong with so much support. But for now, Indonesia protecting Little God Channel, not surprising. Little God Channel, I believe, is like one of the more jump stream or stamina oriented beat maps, and those are the kind of maps Indonesia I think destroys a lot. Meanwhile,
Taiwan protecting an SV pick, right? That's the kind of thing you want, really. But I'm not sure if that's actually gonna pan out for Indonesia. I'm not sure.
But like, here's the thing. The good thing about like SV picks is they don't force you to become very physical, which is, in my opinion, is what Indonesia's really good at. But they have to take note, they do have an SV Fortress. I'd like to call ASCII Fanboy that at least, because ASCII Fanboy has been setting some really good scores on that field. Though, if Taiwan... Wait a second, what?
Banning tarot cards as the LN1. That's probably the only time that I've seen it hasn't been... I mean, it's been picked once, but it has never been picked ever since. And it's now being banned for Taiwan here.
Well, I don't know if this is a good ban, because like, Indonesia is known more as a rice team, right? And in fact, Indonesia is banning hybrid. So I feel like banning LN could be counterintuitive, at least in my opinion. Because like, Indonesia is known to be a rice team, though to be fair, there is the presence of players like Anta Pikasi, and we all know how good Rei is as an overall player.
Also, it looks like by this point, when everyone has their protects and bans, that does mean the second match that the SVs has been actually not being affected at all. In fact, it's been protected by one of the teams, which is Taiwan. So both of these SVs are up. Which also meant that Indonesia is well prepared for if Taiwan decides to go for the SVs, really.
That would be very interesting if both teams are paired. I think though, the problem for me, at least on the side of like Taiwan, I'm just not sure exactly what they're going to be strategizing here. Though for Indonesia, I'm predicting something like, okay, they're gonna go for Rise, and then maybe test the waters on hybrids and LNs. Though they are taking their time right now.
Ooh, Hopeful Frontier. Okay, that's
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Let's see who takes this on the two small sections that has a lot of like split trails in there. Let's see who takes this now because that's the kind of pick that you want really to mess up real with.
I don't think this is a very chokeable pick, don't you think? Like, the thing about this pick is like it may not be the most physically draining, but there are certainly some patterns here which really test the durability and the flexibility of their wrists.
I mean, like, the patterns themselves are absolutely disgusting for something that is as hard as like around 32, and having those really troll-ish nature of split trail in the middle and the outro of this song is actually like, that's a BMA thing that he has overall when he charges something like this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, we just kind of have to like switch some players, don't you think? Adiza on the Indonesian side, and Albert actually. Wait, so we have one Taiwanese player on the Taiwan side and one Indonesian player on the Indonesian side, and both and the other two players are on other sides of the coin.
Yeah, still needs to get some adjusting the setup here going on because not in the correct space to do it. Let's get back to when we saw the protects and the bans for both of these teams really, because with Taiwan protecting SV, that also meant that they are very well prepared that they're gonna be picking both of the SVs really, regardless of what they want to which order they want to pick, because that's it's anybody's game. But Indonesia seeming that he has all sorts of good SV players on their arsenal. I don't think it's like that much of a big deal with them protecting SVs really. Doesn't really feel affected at all for Indonesia, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It's not really exactly the most affecting Indonesia because, like, at least right now, I do think their SV lineup is fairly decent. Though, I don't know. Something tells me that Taiwan is just going to be a wild card for a pick like this. Like, I haven't exactly seen these three players play that much in tournaments, so it would be very interesting to see how they do as a team, especially if this is their MWC debut, which I'm not exactly sure about that either.
All right, let's see. I'm not sure if the players are willing to start with the MP start right there on the command, because it's usually the referees or something.
All right, well there it is. They're back. All right, we're ready to start.
On the other side, Spain versus Russia. Spain is now 1 up point with picking 8-bit Voyager, which is the Ellen Density pick. And well, we're starting with the first map already on this match, which is Hopeful Frontier.
Yeah, so we do have a difference in first picks. Like in the other side, we did have Ellen, and now we're having Rice. So, oh man!
Wow, look at that!
Starting with 2 breaks already. Very unfortunate start for Taiwan, but luckily it's still the first part. Meanwhile, we're seeing some wonderful performance from Indonesia. Even though the patterns here are super various and variant and whatnot, Indonesia's hitting it like it's nothing. Though Taiwan making a good recovery, especially Jackie. In fact, almost matching such as accuracy. Aurora Dion trying their best, but still has a lot to work on.
That scene to it doesn't really face at all for Indonesia, really. Like, I mean, as consistent as they are prone to choke, so a little bit more than you usually used to be. So having 99.8 on average doesn't seem to be like that big of a deal, because usually the high scores are rare, and here we go, we're going to split trail right here. It doesn't seem to face that much, really.
Well, it doesn't really affect the Indonesian accuracy here. Taiwan, on the other hand, they've made some amazing progress in recovery. Despite the numerous rolls, and like anchors and whatnot, even that split rail a while ago, no one was affected. It was only really that start that sort of affected Taiwan's score.
With Jackie actually recovering, like, it doesn't really, like, you would see that Jackie has a miss really, because the accuracy is actually a little bit higher than Albert because of that with that miss. But now we're going to a little bit of the outro, which is almost the same as the before section. Adiza with the choke right there for some reason.
So this is what you were talking about, Indonesia tending to choke, right?
Split trill.
Luckily, no one getting affected by that split trill. I'm gonna be honest, that was a scare. Imagine if Taiwan didn't have those two misses at the start. This could have well been a victory on their side. Not to mention, Albert did drop accuracy by the very end. Those patterns really affected sort of the Indonesian team. But hey, very solid scores all across the board. Though, at the end of the day, Indonesia just had the better accuracy overall, which ultimately gave Taiwan the victory. But that was still a fight that they gave. Not too much of a big lead from Indonesia, if you ask me.
Jackie with only like a miss flag, and Adiza hitting everything but the 200s, which sounds kind of funny to me though.
Oh, that's just indicative that they had the part where they weren't exactly the most comfortable with, and because of that, their wrists probably got unstable, and that led to those bad judgments in general.
Right, we'll see if Taiwan decides wanting to go with the protect thing here. I'm assuming that would be the case, given Rice doesn't seem it's like a no-go for them. I feel like, given the prospect of how full frontier goes.
I mean, it's nice to pick the protect, but I don't know if it's the right choice to make now, because it's still very early on. And not to mention, this was Indonesia's first pick. If it was Taiwan's first pick and they lost the breakpoint, I would understand. But this is not a dire situation they're in yet. And they see that there's an opportunity for them to take a point if Indonesia does choke.
Seems like they're gonna be having a sweet time for deliberating on this. Oh, okay, going for Hautara Nyokusenshi.
I don't know if this is a good pick from Taiwan. Because, like, even if I did say that there's a silver lining for them to take a breakpoint off of Indonesia, I think hoping that the fact that other team chokes, instead of, like, relying more on your individual performances as a team, I'm just not sure if that's the strategy to go with for this one.
I mean, thankfully, the song itself is very short. It's just like TP Sideling, but any mistake is pretty lethal.
Alright, so this is a very quick map. You know, now that you mentioned it, the word lethal, I think that's a good way to put it if you miss on a map like this. Definitely. And we do see one switch. I believe that was Aurordion for Diablo Rex. We'll have to see if this was the right switch to make though.
I mean, hopefully, at least none of the people here seems to be got cut off by that. And although Diamond Rice has a 200 in the intro, a little bit worrying, it seems.
Well, it's the intro for a reason. Not at least it's not like at the very end, which is, in my opinion, much more valuable than like having problems at the start. Though, at least the top two players from each team performing relatively well. So it's really just a battle of the third placer. Unfortunately, the third player in the Taiwan side has a lot of ground to work on, but it's still very early on, so not over yet. Still a lot of chances to do.
More than a 400 combo wins, so any mistake from there is gonna be a tough hill to climb from there, unless you have like superior accuracy to go forward with. And there he goes, such as the first choke of the Taiwan right there.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate. In the break section, this is like the worst part to find a miss. And now we're approaching the sort of Court Jackie's tech section. Both teams, I would expect Indonesia to just eat this like it's nothing. Exactly what they're doing right now. But Taiwan still putting up a great fight. Like the fact that we see 699 through the whole lobby just goes to show how players are good now. Like it's very insane to see the progression and the evolution of players. And now we're reaching the last part. No one finding any drops whatsoever. Oh wait, was that a miss at the start from? Oh, it was actually. So that's why their accuracy was a lot lower. But it should be around like what Such got, if it weren't for those early chokes.
Yeah, it doesn't really. This pick doesn't really work for Taiwan. It does seem like, although Jackie is actually has a higher score than Albert, if he went double S for them, which is very respectable for what he does. But again, the sheer ratio and the amount of accuracy for Indonesia does seem to be a little bit too much for Taiwan to catch up on with.
Yeah, that's true. Although again, I really think Indonesia has to go for. I kind of want to see them try LN because think of it this way: Taiwan banned a long note pick, and if anything, they banned tarot cards, which I think could be the LN that's the easier to act among all three. So if that's the case, then maybe Indonesia could go for something like 8-bit Voyager, which is probably going to be an advantage for them. But instead, they go for Rice 1. We've only been seeing Rice picks this whole match, by the way.
Yeah, Hajime Shimasho, which the speed, as far as speed goes, I would never expect that a Ska pick for like around the 32 because normally you would see Ska in such like late game picks all around, but this one seems like it's the opposite.
It's so unorthodox. I agree, because like Skull maps tend to be like really difficult, but instead we're seeing something like that in a round of 32. A very unorthodox way to see Ska's beat map. But hey, if it works, right?
I mean, I guess I have no control about what goes and what goes not, but this is still a pretty challenging pick for being speed. Not necessarily speed streams, but it's got everything. It's got a little bits of 616 and 18 snaps in between.
Yeah, I mean, it is streams, 2 minutes and 58 seconds streams. I feel like Indonesia is the more consistent team overall. I think they're just going to be able to breeze through speed streams like this. Like, I would think Albert is going to specialize in something like this a lot. Though, they still have to be very careful.
Like I saw in like the last matches, I think it was when around like Singapore versus Australia and whatnot. This is what probably like the endurance kind of pick that really it doesn't really test speed that much, but with how sustained the streams are, it's gonna be tough to deal with if you don't have a sheer composure to deal with most of the streams in here. Really, it's very long for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, normally you would see longer picks on the later rounds, but hey, this being 2 minutes and 58 seconds, I think it's valid. Because, like, again, players right now have gotten really, really more advanced. And it's evident on their gameplay right now. Still consistent as ever for everyone, but I think this can change as the time progresses.
That's the last thing that I would ever expect anyone to go step in the stream pick. That's the last thing that I would ever want to see from Mediza.
And I don't think that's the best move to make either, because like, the thing about ghost tapping is if you ghost tap way too much, you'll be bound to get some 50s. Unfortunately, the first one to mix is going to be Diablo Rex from Taiwan, but I gotta still give them props for having a very clean miss as their accuracy is still very high.
Still got quite a bit of work to go with here. Still around like the first third of the map, really. Still have plenty of room to recover.
And the fact that this is only 10,000 point lead for Indonesia right now, this could really go to Taiwan's side if Indonesia doesn't become careful. Like, we did see that drop from Adiza in, I think, was it Frontier Explorer? Like, that map alone shows how scary it could be if Indonesia drops.
I mean, it was Hopeful Frontier because Frontier Explorer is a different song.
Oh, Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I confused it for something else.
I mean, in fairness, there's a one song like that in particular. Although Albert is lagging behind.
Okay, we'll just have to wait. I believe it shouldn't affect it too much. Like, I don't think. Oh, what is going on?
Although I do think it's okay. What is going on?
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. Oh no, we're just so we're really gonna have to wait for Albert to finish, huh? So this lead that you see in Taiwan right now, this is not the actual lead, okay?
If this would have been like a DC, this would have been a totally different story.
Alright, let's see first though. Okay, here's going to be Indonesia's pulling back the lead. What an amazing comeback they're doing! Oh my goodness.
It seems like a solo lead coming from Albert. There still seems to be quite a lot. Oh, everyone's playing again. Oh, it's still desynced though, so it's still not indicative.
Alright, so it's still a little bit desynchronized. But I feel like Albert does fill in the 30,000 gap that Indonesia has right now, unless they find a drop or two, which I don't think is gonna happen. These speed streams, these are something the Indonesian team is very good at. What the as I say that, an unfortunate drop from Albert. Is it enough to give Taiwan the victory though? I don't know. I think
it might have been though, because I feel like because the stream is still streams right there, and I feel like there's still a few seconds to go for Albert to make a. There you go. Yep.
Such found the miss as well though.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? What's going on?
Can you pause in the multiplayer? That's what I want to know.
Okay, 3-0. Okay, what just happened?
That's the first time I ever seen a pause in the multiplayer lobby. That's kind of good strat right there.
Maybe you just need a little bit of, you know. Okay. So here's the stats. Indonesia won the pick by 27,000 points. Sizable lead, actually. So yeah. Okay, Albert actually did not find the miss there. It was a 994. I thought I made a big curse there, but hey, we're gonna be having OMG.
Alright, so they're picking their protected pick, and I would expect that they would go with this sooner or later, because they're 3 down, so they have nothing to lose if they really want to go for that now.
Oh hey, well, I do think if Taiwan is picking this, then they're probably at least confident with what they have practiced, which I sincerely hope they do. They did practice at least. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna be waiting for Indonesia's third player, which I'm gonna assume is on Tabikasi, I feel.
It could be anyone really. It could be Adiza as well if they really want to.
Hey Mifa, what if you're the third player?
I really don't play that much, so yeah, I'll pass.
Alright. Sounds good. Okay, they're moving on. Okay, Anta's gonna be the third player, according to the chat at least.
Alright, so there you go, we're having Onto Pikasi, and for against Taiwan, which they already have their full roster in the lobby right now. This is the kind of pick that I kinda hate practicing it, because it's aggravatingly slow to be able to ghost tab. So the margin of the hit window for that kind of BPM is larger than you would seem to be.
Yeah, that's fair. Not to mention, this is literally almost 3 minutes. And as someone that I do play SV, but like I don't think I'd want to play 3-minute SV over and over again. Which just goes to show how dedicated these players really are, honestly. And I'm very glad to see that from everyone.
Well, I wouldn't mind the lengthy SV pick, but I'm just
I just don't like slow BPM songs in general. That's kind of the point that I have during SVSE too, which the first round it was like aggravatingly slow.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking some time in just readying these players up. I do hope that everyone is prepared. I mean, I think like P-Dog is a decent SE player himself. Those again, Aradorion and such are going to be wild cards here. Meanwhile, for Indonesia, I've known these three players.
All right, they have no fail is like valid. It's like permittable for picks in general, so it's really not a big deal.
That's fair. That's very fair, actually. But hey,
All right, are they gonna 200 on the first note? Yep, there you go.
Well,
Such
well.
has a 200. And it's
I like
Kamikaze
it.
as well.
and okay, ASCII fanboy was like, wait a second. Actually, Thailand has the lead right now. Interesting to note. But
I mean, yeah. In fairness, the first note is really easy to drop 200s on there, so I really don't blame them.
okay, so right now, this is a 3,000 point lead from the Taiwan side. These patterns, especially those mini jacks, very scary to hit, especially on the SV side. Like you'd be afraid to just press it and be like, what if I miss? What if I miss? But really, the fact that this is very close, it's mainly due to ASCII fanboys and core on the Indonesian side. Very impressive showing these teleports not affecting anyone so far.
That's a 200 for Onsen Bakazi. That's alarmingly low of an accuracy for Onsen Bakazi because how the hits are so inconsistent. They're like the judgments are all over the place.
Yeah, not to mention this.
Oh wow, look at that 200! The spree of
200.
200s for Taiwan.
These three players are beating out both RetroX and Onto Picasso for the most part. It's really ASCII fanboy who's giving the charge to Indonesia. An opportunity for them to take a point, to take this point away from Taiwan.
That's 100 for Aradorian. The slow jump wrecking everyone in Taiwan right now.
Oh no, that was a lot of 200s on the Taiwanese side. It's just going to give a lot of leeway for Indonesia to continue their charge. Again, onto Picasso, RetroX holding their own weight. ASCII fanboy doing an amazing job themselves.
No one is above 99.3 except for ASCII fanboy, which is the outlier of the entire lobby.
A very big outlier indeed. Again, these SV patterns not really affecting anyone on the combo side. Like these teleports, they're not the easiest to memorize, and yet they're just
200s. Watch that 200s on there. It's really mentally taxing because how big the window is for ghost tapping. All right, this section is deceptively harder to get. The bombs are pretty. Oh, there you go. Aradorian takes the first choke over the Taiwan.
It's so unfortunate because at the very start, Taiwan had the lead, but that one is probably sealed the coffin. The nail in the coffin, I mean. And now final teleports coming in. Some mini jacks, and unfortunately, I think this should do it, at least for how they've been doing. A decent performance from Taiwan in general. But Indonesia just had too much of a wall to climb right now.
Yeah, ASCII fanboy definitely takes the cake for having a V1, the only V1 double S, and the everyone else didn't really even come close to 980k plus above.
It's just a very
Right, there, SV2 Taiwan is actually begging Indonesia to pick SV2 right now.
I want to see that back-to-back SV picks. Let's go. Right. Though, to be fair, I think Indonesia's gonna go for Poppy. Probably that.
Oh, there he goes. Yep. There he goes. Yep. All right.
Oh my goodness, they're actually going for SV2.
All right, there you go. Taiwan has a something advantage. Now it's not on Tepagos he's playing, probably. Or was it actually Indonesia's pick? I don't know. No.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Oh, yeah, because Taiwan picked SV1. It's now Indonesia's pick. So nope. That false
Alright.
alarm. False alarm.
False alarm, false alarm. I thought this was. Oh my goodness, I was scared for a bit. I was like actually hyped, and then I saw the chat. Oh my goodness.
Looks like somebody didn't even see the name.
It happens, it happens.
Alright. What if Indonesia actually actually convinced to pick SV2 now? I don't know.
That was a funny one though, I gotta say. I do think Indonesia go for Poppy. Or maybe 8-bit Voyager.
Well, I mean, Little God Channel was protected for a reason, and I think Indonesia's probably gonna go for that.
Oh my goodness. Let's just wait and see. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is currently 4-0 right now. But Russian
Alright,
Federation...
Poppy. Poppy it is.
This is what I was talking about. Poppy is a very tactical beat now. And like, this is something Indonesia definitely has a very good standing on, at least from what I can tell.
Is this actually the first pick being shown on the stream? Actually, I've never ever even see Poppy being showed. I mean, played at all, really.
Alright, so this is 2 minutes 17 seconds, so not exactly the shortest map, but still, you have to be very careful with your misses and whatnot.
It's Poppy being the first one on being played on stream. I don't ever see Poppy being played at all, really.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen this yet.
Oh, on the other match so far, I think Russia is pulling it back with their own pick. Actually, it's now 4-1. Spain is still in the lead though, but having a point is nice to not have a clean sweep in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, this is something like Indonesia just has to continue picking stuff their own to their own advantage, even if it's not their own protect. And Taiwan in general, like I'm gonna admit this, Taiwan is doing really decently. Just they had some very unfortunate mishaps here and there, but overall their act hasn't exactly been that bad either.
All right, 200%. All right, okay. All the screens just making it gone.
Well, this pick is certainly a challenge when it comes to the technical side, as I've been saying a while ago. And this is why Indonesia would want to go for something like that. But look at Jackie right now, beating literally everyone in the lobby, including bad HD player. And such as well, just doing decently. Like the mere fact that this is a very technical beat map, and everyone is doing very well act-wise, goes to show once again the evolution of players all around the world.
Nothing to seem to phase at all with the one-handed trails in, really. That's very impressive.
Yeah, these anchors are not giving anyone any troubles whatsoever. Not to mention those jats in the after those anchors, still not giving anyone opportunities to drop. Even if this is a 15,000 point lead, Taiwan's still doing a really good job.
Yeah, there's a couple of hundreds and 200s for NATO and such. That's all the difference really is. Indonesia just doesn't seem to having to massively choke at all, really. 99.8 plus. It's that average.
And unfortunately, Such finds the first drop. But still, very good fort that they were able to hold, really. Once again, everyone just doing very good in the maps like this. Like, these technical patterns are no joke at all to play.
That's a 200 for Jackie. Seems like I already saw that 99.9 being gone, and it's now on the same level as Ray or Bad HT player.
Yeah, and right now, Indonesia just taking the charge. The 35,000 ringgit, unfortunately, is a very big one, especially for how much there's left in the map. A very good performance from everyone. We gotta give everyone their props for doing such a good job I think Jackie actually takes the MVP for this lobby. That's a very impressive job. Yeah, that is
120.
120. Very good job from everyone, really. And you know what? I have to be honest. There were some opportunities for Taiwan to take some points in this match, so they did a good job doing what they could. But unfortunately, it's going to be Indonesia who takes the victory and the match point. So congratulations to Indonesia, but worry not Taiwan, as they still have the losers bracket. Am I right?
Yeah, they will still have to redeem themselves in the losers bracket in round of 16. And may I remind you that round of 16 is a step up. It's definitely a step up. So they're gonna have to work even harder than that to make sure that they still have a place in the next round.
That's fair. That's fair. Just, I wonder who Indonesia's next opponent is. But I think, I think regardless of what happens, they just have to be very careful with all of the decisions they've made. But so far, great performances. Hope to see more from both teams, and I hope that both teams are able to use this match so to their advantage, practice and whatever. And that's all really. I don't really have that much to say other than good job for both teams and good luck to both of them.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And although we do still have at least one more match, I fully in the next hour or so. I think it's probably like Vietnam versus Argentina. It's in the like next 55 minutes, which is also pretty expected to see how these teams will perform, because they are not like you would normally see a clean sweep whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true. But for the meantime, once again, that's it. And I believe Spain versus Russia. Let's see how they're doing so far. And I think that's it. Actually, Spain took the last point, and good job to both teams there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're probably gonna be seeing that next match which between Vietnam versus Argentina in the next 54 minutes. And we're probably gonna be taking a quick break to make sure that you're still on this block for this match, for the next match. So we'll be right back, and don't go anywhere, because that 54 minutes is gonna be your waiting time for the next match.